Hello and welcome to the Hot Dog and Handshake Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Jayden and Shane. Joining me is my co-host, former DDT Ironman Heavy Metalweight Champion Shane Price. Shane, how you doing this week?
All right.
And of course, joining us again this week is Jolka.
I mean, nothing is going to beat what that introduction just got.
Former whatever champion.
Yeah.
Hopefully a champion.
Technically, it's true.
I mean, it is.
So, this week, for my collar and elbow question, I saw some conversation on Twitter this week about who is WWE's ace. So I want to ask, who are the aces of professional wrestling right now? Shane, do you want to explain the ace concept?
All right. So it's more prevalent in Japan, but the ace is the top guy through and through. He's the guy who your company goes around. Mm-hmm. Think about John Cena or Okada or Roman Reigns was previously.
It's not just the best guy, too. I think it's the guy who's kind of a living embodiment of what your company is, kind of thing. So just because maybe at times, Daniel Bryan may have been the best wrestler in WWE for a time, but I don't think I wouldn't call him their ace because he wasn't like a WWE style guy. You know what I mean? So
it doesn't have to be like the champion, obviously. Champion, he could be not a champion, but it's still like the best.
I mean, the most prevalent example is Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah,
he's
the best example of not the champion, but still the top guy is Misawa.
Yeah. So currently in wrestling, I guess we can start with WWE. Who would you say is the ace of WWE right now?
Rhea Ripley. Yeah,
that's a good. That's a good point. I mean,
she's everywhere. She will always be top of the card for women.
Yeah, Cody seems a little bit more like a WWE, kind of guy compared to what Rhea is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you think of top of the card always.
All right, come here, Dab, then I'll get you guys started.
Oh, we're started.
Well, fuck, my bad.
That was
this
interruption was brought to you by Shane going to WrestleMania.
We can restart. We had barely gotten into it.
It's my fault.
All right.
You just leave it in as it is.
All right, we'll just leave that in. We can leave that in. Just a little interruption from our producer there.
This interruption has been brought to you by Shane is going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And the FMW anniversary show.
Yeah. So where were we? Oh, yeah, we're talking about Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
I think I would lean Rhea, though. Like I've said many times on this podcast before, the pop I heard at Monday Night Raw for Rhea Ripley has rivaled any pop I've seen for Cena or Taker or Roman Reigns. Just the people love her. So I can get behind that. Who would be AEW's ace right now, Shane? Is it still Kenny?
Yeah. I mean, come on. He's
founder of the company.
Founder of the company. He should be the Mitsuharu Misawa of AEW. He should be the booker at this point.
Yeah.
But
could be something. I mean, the Collision would just be a Joshi show at that point, I think.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, so it's Kenny.
If not Kenny, I think the future ace is going to be Hangman.
Hangman. Yeah, I think you could argue Hangman is the ace right now. I mean, really, he's kind of been the main character.
Or even though he's not really good at his job of wrestling, is it still Jon Moxley?
Even though he's at a...
Think about it.
Yeah.
He's been the ace since 22.
He's been the ace for a while, I would say. He...
Always been top of the card.
He was the big impact moment on the first Double or Nothing, his debut. And the thing is, sometimes the ace's work isn't great. I'm sure Tanahashi has had some stinker storylines and stuff in there too, right?
I don't get to watch as much AEW as I'd like, but when you asked that question, Moxley was the first name that popped in my head right away. It was Jon Moxley.
I think any argument can be made for Kenny, Hangman, or Moxley, but I think now that you bring it up, I kind of do lean Moxley. I think that is, I think you kind of want it to be. I think part of me wants it to be an AEW homegrown, but still, he made the big. I mean, he was Luger at Nitro. That double. I mean, even though he wasn't. We knew he was a free agent. Just that first Double or Nothing was crazy. New Japan. Because, I mean, the ace is retiring, so, who is...
They haven't had an ace since Okada left.
I think, right now, it's kind of Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, it feels kind of... I mean, no offense to Zack. Feels kind of weak for the ace title, right?
Yeah, but is he top of the card all the time? No.
I mean, I guess no.
He's the face of the promotion of the Westerners. So you got to think about who the Japanese people love.
Is it? I mean,
Right now, for like 6 months, it's Goto.
yeah, I was gonna say Goto. I know that. I mean,
He's single-handedly...
Shingo's been consistently relevant.
The
for a few
rumor
years.
of Goto winning the belt sold out a show.
Yeah,
So,
Haruki Goto
I don't know.
is. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Shane, this one's more for you. Who's GCW's ace?
it's Effie.
AF
I
Effie?
mean, he's right now at least. It used to be Mance Warner.
Okay.
Rumor, you can say Joey too. Joey's been there forever, and
It's not just used to be Mance Warner because he dropped the belt. It's because after he dropped the belt, he started working more TNA
Yeah.
dates and just kind of started shifting out of his GCW.
but like even before he dropped the belt, even before like he was the champion, he was still top of the card.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's fair. Any others want to point out? I mean,
Noah kind of going to Ozawa
mhm.
at this point. You know, he's kind of gotten big. You know, with Keno kind of getting old, and
is
all the other people getting old.
is Trick Williams the ace of NXT right now?
Old family probably.
Yeah.
More old family, I'd say. TNA, I don't care.
Yeah.
TNA, it should be Mance Warner.
TNA, it's unfortunately probably Moose.
It should be Mance Warner.
Yeah.
Star power over there.
Yeah. All right. So you want to move on to outside the ring news? Speaking of TNA, former TNA World Champion Josh Alexander is All Elite. What do you think of this debut? I mean, we can talk about it more when we get to Dynamite. But what do you just think of Josh Alexander as an All Elite wrestler?
I think it's the better move than NXT.
Mhm.
I mean, he's going to do NXT. He's a technician guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in WWE. Never has.
Yeah. It's the reading Shakespeare to a dog type thing, doing technical wrestling for a WWE crowd.
Yeah.
Who are your dream matches AEW wise for Josh?
Running back with Mike Bailey.
Mhm. Running it back with Will Ospreay. They had
Yeah.
an awesome match last year.
They don't really
In
have a
TNA.
lot of good technicians in the AEW right now.
Um,
Not on the top of my head.
Yeah, this does open up options though to see him wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. or Hechicero. Some of the great
Had to
technicians
show
from other
you
places.
would be a great match. Actually,
Josh Alexander. I mean, I know he just joined the Don Callis family, but him wrestling Takeshita would be awesome. I'm trying to think who else I want. I think Samoa Joe would be a great one. Shibata would be a great one. So I think there's a lot of fun to be had with Josh Alexander. On to WWE news, which is kind of the bulk of our news this week. I think the biggest news outside of the ring that broke this week was WWE buying AAA Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
So again, I'll throw to Shane. Historical context. What is AAA Lucha Libre? Just kind of the summary for anybody new to it.
modern Lucha Libre, because compared to CMLL's traditional Lucha Libre,
Mm-hmm.
it started because Antonio Pena and Televisa wanted to, reform Lucha Libre more than CMLL was letting them do. So they left, they bounced, they made their own thing. AAA is not like CMLL, where CMLL guys will work the same 3 arenas every week for the rest of eternity. AAA is kind of more like I want to say like an indie company in the U.S. would be,
Mm-hmm.
where a promoter comes in and says, "Hey, I want AAA in my arena. How much is that going to cost me? I want these guys. How much is that going to cost me?" And they pay. They come. You want a AAA show with those wrestlers, but everything's for them. Crucially, they also run other dates. They don't just run AAA.
Mm-hmm.
A key example will be Arez before he bounced. He did doing UCW in the States. He was sort of AAA in Mexico.
Yeah.
NXT we don't really do that. It'd be
They've done it more with NXT, with TNA and GCW.
but with how everybody does it, not just like the big
Oh,
stars.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody does it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard shift.
Historically important people who came from AAA. We're talking Rey Mysterio,
Ray, Eddie,
and Art Bar, the Ghost Locos. Chris Jericho wrestled in AAA.
Roosh, Lisico,
Yeah,
Dragon Lee,
The Lucha
Penta,
Bros. Yeah.
Phoenix.
Those are more recent ones, but yeah.
I mean,
So a lot of guys have come from AAA. I think the
like
current top guy.
all of the '90s, which was WCW, pretty much.
Yeah, a lot of them. Psychosis, Hoovy.
Psychosis, Hoovy, La Parca, literally.
Yeah. So right now, Vikingo, I think, is the big draw to WWE. I think.
Well, I mean, obviously,
he's the most
he's
like main
pre-WrestleMania.
roster ready guy, other than like Nick Nemeth, who is technically a AAA wrestler.
Sam Adonis, I guess, probably.
Sam Adonis. Is he Corey Graves' brother?
Yes.
Yeah, he's Corey Graves' brother.
I would give it a shot. Wagner 3 is.
Really good. Yeah. Do you know anything from AAA?
You know what's Libre at all, Jolka?
What is your perspective on this purchase?
I mean, I think it's good. I've heard a little bit about AAA. I've never really watched it, but I'm a big fan of Luchadors.
They kind of suck right now.
Yeah, it's like the second most popular wrestling promotion in Mexico, but potentially the worst wrestling I've ever seen.
So
wow. All
not to
right.
get really into it, but they've been building. They've wanted to sell for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
They've thrown all of their good guys, all the technicos, at Alberto Del Rio, their champion,
Yeah, but
Del
Rio's
Rio,
the champion, yes.
who has been suspended from the second biggest market in Mexico for 6 months.
Yeah, he can't wrestle in Tijuana for 6 months because he almost fought a fan. For real.
Oh, wow.
And
What a douchebag.
they sent everybody his way. They've all been destroyed. They've been building to one match in August of this year. Latin Lover versus Alberto will be the big match. If WWE scraps that match, it's over. It's over.
Yeah. There's rumors that they want to rebrand AAA to NXT Mexico.
Stupid.
I haven't seen a
Stupid.
good source on that, but that is a rumor going around. Laredo Kid, another good guy who's in AAA, also wrestles for TNA. I like
they could have
Laredo
had.
Kid.
They could have had him already.
Yeah. But just another name to throw out there to try to some more positive, some silver
Formerly
linings.
RS too.
I don't love WWE purchasing companies. It just doesn't. I mean, this is WWE. They've always just wanted a monopoly on wrestling. It's kind of been the whole
World
company. Like that's. I mean, from the moment Vince Jr. takes over, what he wants to do is dismantle the territory system. He ends up buying WCW and ECW.
Well, WCW is different because those would have just went kaput.
Yeah, but after that, kind of just a monopoly on wrestling, and the more dangerous part is that when WWE does have a strong hold on wrestling, it's easier for them to brainwash people into thinking that all wrestling outside of WWE is lesser, and that's how we end up with this tribalism, is because from 2001 to 2019, all people were being told is that if it's not WWE, it's not good.
Could you believe?
And-
Can you believe
and-
that WWE stands trying to defend AAA right now?
Yeah, I can't believe it because that's what they do every time. And it's one of those things where it's like, at least in America, probably at least 95% of people who get into wrestling start with WWE. And
Yeah.
so if they're trying to take over the market and trying to tell everyone that only WWE is good, kind of ruins some stuff. So that's it feels like a dangerous thing that they're buying another company. I know other people have now theorized that they may buy TNA or Pro Wrestling Noah next. Other companies they've had partnerships with.
Oh
And it's just-
God!
I have so much to say.
Oh
but
God!
I'm waiting for later because we're going to come across this subject
Okay,
later.
we can save
on.
for later. We can move on to the next
Oh,
news.
I guess we can. Yeah.
All right. WWE Unreal is a new series that will be coming to Netflix this summer that is apparently about the backstage workings of WWE. And not for a damn second do I think this is completely unscripted.
Oh, guaranteed. I wish it was.
It's going to be the most scripted shit you've ever seen.
I wish it was. I really find the backstage dudes of wrestling super interesting.
I do think it's really funny that there's in the trailer there's a shot of the writers' room and it's just white guys. Just no one with any other sort of life experience, no women, no nothing, just old white dudes.
No goddamn way would my writers' room be just
No.
like that. There's no goddamn way.
No 25-year-olds either. like nobody young with
Bunch
different
of
life
old
experience.
farts.
Just a bunch of old farts.
Michael Hayes talking about. Well, I'll tell you what now. Back in my day, we did the good stuff.
Yeah. That is, yeah. So there's that. What are you guys' thoughts on this series?
I think
Interested at all?
I'm gonna watch it because again, I find that really interesting. However, I think it's gonna be so bad.
I'm gonna watch it just to see how frustrated Nick Khan gets. Like, I can't wait to see that because
Yeah,
he
we
doesn't really like being up front on camera.
Yeah, that is true. He does media, but it's like podcast appearances and stuff. I don't think he loves being an on-camera guy.
Oh, like
'Cause,
Triple
like
H,
the main media he does is Bill Simmons.
like Triple H.
Yeah, Triple H hates being on camera. You wouldn't believe it. Nikki Bella has said that there will be a Bella Twins return.
Oh, dude, hell yeah!
I was about to ask what, if
Nikki-
anything, you would
Nikki-
want to see from them.
Nikki Tawe and Bree Kawada, brother. Let's go.
I mean, to be fair, if anybody in WWE history deserves a just short women's tag run that just didn't get the opportunity because it was right team, wrong time, it's the Bella
Lay Cool.
Twins. Bella Twins and Lay Cool both, but I mean, really, the Bella Twins, if they got like a 2-month women's tag title reign, that'd be kind of cool.
Listen,
I'd like to see
if their comeback is trained by Bree's husband, I'll be all for it.
dude, that'd be crazy.
Those
They just
two
all start-
annoy me more than any other two women
Yeah.
in pro wrestling.
Primo,
Dude, they come back, they're just throwing like psycho knees.
Gavin Guri's up the wazoo.
They're doing the oh shoot, not the surfboard stretch, but what's that one Danielson does where he has the arms and the legs trapped?
Oh yeah,
like
an
under him.
octopus stretch.
No,
No.
It's like under him.
Is it with the ropes?
No, he like wraps the legs around his, grabs their arms, and like rolls backwards.
And
so
pulls
they're
them
both-
up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't remember what that's
octopus.
called. That's an octopus.
I'm
stretch?
pretty sure.
Oh, okay, I thought it was a different thing.
Tarantula is the ropes one.
Yeah, that's the ropes one, but they're just doing like crazy fucked up submissions like that.
Cattle decapitations every week on Raw.
Yes. I think it'd be interesting. It'd be fun. It wouldn't be the main thing on any show, so it wouldn't.
Yeah,
be like
that's
a,
fair.
a huge problem. And if there's rumors of like Evolution 2 happening, like that'd be kind of fun. Rey Mysterio announces that he tore his groin, so a little sad injury news. That's why he
Another lower body injury for
missed.
Mysterio.
Yeah, dude.
He needs more stem cells to get the guys to go. He needs to get in
So
the contraption
just
again.
some half-assed internet research. Depending on the severity, he could be out anywhere from 1 to 6 months.
He'll probably be back in a couple
So,
months.
probably a few months.
He'll go get some new stem cells
Groin
and go get put in the
sucks.
contraption again.
Yeah, I haven't had any groin injuries. But
I did.
Try to do a split and force yourself to go all the way down. That's what it'll feel like.
I
Yeah.
pulled my
Temporarily, you
I
won't rip nothing.
pulled my groin back in middle school and it was terrible. I couldn't walk. And I just pulled it.
Yeah,
It's
it
terrible.
sucks.
You guys want to talk about WWE's terrible PR week?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to.
So I don't think I remembered everything. I was just trying to write it down off the top of my head. First thing I have here, John Cena saying he still loves Vince McMahon.
Ooh,
Love that nobody in this company other than Seth Rollins can acknowledge that Vince McMahon is a terrible person.
yes.
I saw this meme. I'll show it to you and I'll say what it says.
Yeah.
It's Vince saying, I love raping. And then John saying, look, man, he helped me through a very tough time. It's okay. It means a lot to me. So, you gotta respect it.
Yeah. You don't have to respect him, guys. You don't have to give him props.
You
We
don't
can
have
ignore
to.
the
You don't
name.
have to say, "Well, I know he did the sex trafficking, but he's my good friend."
Yeah.
You don't. The right thing to do is say he was my friend, but I found out he did this, and now I don't want anything
Yeah.
to do with him.
Yeah, remember how we all of a sudden hated Chris Benoit? Do that. Because that's what he's deserving of.
Yeah, that's you're exactly right.
You
You're
know what I mean?
exactly
Vince
right.
should get the treatment. By
You
the
know
way,
how hard it would be to Chris Benoit him out of everything?
I know. It would be harder than getting rid of.
They Chris Benoit.
It's true.
They
I
can
mean,
do it with anybody.
That is a Royal Rumble winner and WrestleMania main eventer. I guess actually Vince and Benoit both Royal Rumble winners. Now that I think about it.
Ugh.
Yeah, it just infuriates me.
Yeah.
I don't like either of them.
This one's not as bad as it is just kind of an annoying thing that I hate. Nick Khan said that WWE is always the underdog. No, you're not. You're fucking Coca-Cola, guys. You're not the underdog at all. You're Amazon. You're whatever. You're
Google.
You're like Kleenex. There are people who just call wrestling WWE. Like people who don't really watch it, like are just like, oh yeah, WWE. When you say I watch wrestling,
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, WWE. Like you are the farthest.
I
thing
was
from an
literally
underdog.
watching the collective at work because I'm crazy, And so it's like, oh, WWE, I love that. Like, yeah, this is not WWE. It's something much better.
Yeah. But Nick Khan also said WWE doesn't bench people.
Almost.
So my question is, where the fuck is Omos?
You pulled
He
him.
was-
You pulled him from Noah when he was getting over in Japan.
Yeah, he was getting the most praise he's gotten in his entire career.
GHC
praise
tag
than
title
when we
run.
had him next to AJ Styles, and they just pulled him and haven't done anything with him. So
You must have done something wrong.
no, he just
No?
what he did wrong was get over in a company that's not WWE. He got popular somewhere else, and that's what he did wrong.
Oh, that bastard.
Yeah. Roman Reigns comes out as a Trump supporter.
No. It's funny. They're not really a Trump supporter. He's a registered Democrat who voted for Trump because of the economy.
And sees himself as a centrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still Trump supporter.
That would be someone who supports Trump.
I don't know. I
that-
think voting for him is supporting
Yeah,
him. So
that's 100%.
yeah.
Wow.
So-
You notice how he lost all of, like, his aura at
Yeah.
WrestleMania after
Wait,
saying
what do you think?
that?
Yeah.
They're like, you're gonna take the fall now.
You're taking the pin, brother.
I saw people who, because of this, said that Heyman turned heel when he low blowed CM Punk, but then immediately turned face again when he low blowed Roman Reigns.
Well, Paul continued the bad PR week actually
Paul, yeah.
with his Pat McAfee appearance where a fan was chirping him, and he's told the fan that he's gonna get deported.
Yeah. And then
Jesus
he said,
Christ, Paul!
He said
And
he was
then-
gonna get deported.
Yes.
told a fan he was going to get deported.
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
And then on that roast, apparently he said something that made Gabriel Iglesias really mad. So Jane and I were joking about this on the car ride here. Like, there's going to be a Dark Side of the Ring episode about this roast.
So mad that the roast is not able to be
There's
watched.
gonna be
Because they knew it would be a disaster. They knew
Oh,
it was a terrible idea.
it was really it
They
wasn't
just-
good.
They
It
just
was
knew it would
not
sell
good.
Because all this company cares about is fucking making money. Like, that's
Yeah.
why they didn't televise it, because they knew it'd be shit.
They had what? The arena, several hotels filled with WWE World.
Yeah.
That.
You had Las Vegas for a week.
Basically,
You had
yeah,
made
they
enough money.
basically took over Las Vegas for a week.
There are
They-
two things
You
that
might
do
as well
that.
Put Triple H's head on the sphere. Like, that should have been
They should have done that. And F1 does it, and WWE does it. They both make a cajillion dollars.
UFC kind of does it sometimes too, right?
Not
But
really.
for a full week.
Not like WWE or F1
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
F1
it's hard
shuts
to take over
F1
Vegas.
shuts down the streets. They make a gajillion dollars.
It's like, if you go to WrestleMania, you have to have like $1,000 with you to really enjoy everything
Oh, yeah.
a little bit.
WWE a lot as a whole, but especially WrestleMania is a rich man's game now.
Nah, all I need
Regular-
is $300.
Regular people,
Yeah, just go to the show.
Just go to GCW shows all week. I'll be
yeah,
fine.
but like WrestleMania itself,
Yeah, WrestleMania is way too much money now.
Rich people.
I would blow my money going on that ramp where you can do an entrance. I would
Dude,
do
I
everything.
saw that thing
I'm a
where you
mark
could-
when it comes to
where you can hit Logan
WrestleMania.
Paul with the chair.
Do you see somebody
That was awesome.
farted on it?
That's-
You
that's-
got arrested.
They got arrested? Really?
That is the funniest shit.
He pulled down his pants, put his asshole right on his nose, and farted.
Well, I hate that it looks like they don't let you give it, like they don't let you do headshots.
No, that was the point.
You only could do like to the body.
That's so
And I
lame.
I would have
I want to
fucked
give-
that doll.
I-
I want to give that Logan Paul, whatever you want to call that the fake Logan Paul thing. I want to give it an unprotected.
Jolka,
headshot.
Jolka, have you ever seen
wanna
ECW one
hit
at
that
San 05?
What's
Ever
that?
seen what?
You see ECW one at San 05?
The first one night stand ECW.
Yes.
Do you remember Masao Tanaka, Mike Awesome? I'm doing that shit to that Logan Paul.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
doing
I wanna-
that.
No, I want to hit that thing in the head so hard the real
No,
Logan Paul
no,
gets a concussion.
no. I'm doing the
Right.
I'm doing the Sabu Rey Mysterio 06 where he just throws it at him.
Oh, dude, yeah. And then my last note here I have is Triple H just admitting Jey Uso isn't good at the ring. And this one, the best part about this one is this was in an interview with Peter Rosenberg on WWE's YouTube channel.
He's like, I can't even
This
front.
was on official.
You can tell that he is so flustered with booking. He needs to figure something out or step down.
Dude,
up.
this week
He's like, I'm gonna take a vacation and just work myself into a storyline and just beat people up
I
for
think
the next
what
3
I
months.
said, I don't know if it was Shane I was talking to about this or somebody else, but the way I compared this is like, this is if like 3 days before the Super Bowl, the NFL itself releases a CTE report.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like how bad football is. Like,
You can't play. You
they
can't
just
play.
tanked everything going into Mania. A Mania that already had a pretty,
Lackluster
I was
build.
gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say like pretty whatever to bad build, like whatever, wherever you want to put it. But at best, the build to WrestleMania was whatever, and then they go into this. God, anything
just
else from the week? The bad
Kept
PR week? you
fucking. There's more Triple H shit.
yeah, there was more
there's more
Triple H
Triple H
stuff.
The
Because
belt-
Triple H thanks Vince in his Hall of Fame speech.
And then Bill Apter, famous journalist of wrestling,
Oh, dude.
thanked Triple H for thanking Vince.
I hate this
Whoa.
company so much, dude.
Bill Apter's also like
Fucking,
Bill Apter's also like
I
super
didn't
fucking
watch
old.
all
so
the way through the Hall of Fame. It was a little long-winded.
didn't.
for me.
his
So-
speech is an hour and 3 minutes.
I wasn't watching him talk for an hour and
dude,
3
that's
minutes.
kind of how I was. I watched so before WrestleMania Night 1. I had enough time to watch all the way up to the Triple H part.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Gunther taps out, I was like, I'm not watching the Triple H part. He doesn't deserve me. He
Did
doesn't
you
deserve
did you
this.
did you see that Pat McAfee offered CM Punk a beer at the Hall of Fame ceremony?
I saw him say when I saw it, I just kind of thought he was like kind of like gesturing to like we know you don't have to participate in this. I didn't see he offered him a beer. I thought he was just kind of like, yeah, we get it.
He offered him a beer.
That's crazy.
And Punk yelled at him about it. Because it's the one fucking thing about Punk that you just know from the jump. He
Yeah.
doesn't do drugs.
The one thing
he's
says in
straight
every
edge.
promo is he's straight edge. Yeah. You know what? It's Pat McAfee
Straight edge people love to let you know they're straight edge. I know from experience.
hosting. I could see how he just didn't think about it. Hosting the Hall of Fame. He has so many other bits and stuff on his mind that he has to do. And
CM
I
Punk
could see
loves
him
a
just
good
forgetting.
complaint, though,
You
too.
tell me, let's be real. Punk took the opportunity and ran with it. A chance for Punk to be an asshole, he takes it.
He likes being pissed off. I think a little bit.
If,
That's
if
his.
you
drug,
throw it
being
up,
pissed off.
you can't get mad at him for knocking it out of the park.
Darby Allin's drug is pain, Punk's is anger.
Yeah. Anything else from WWE's Bad PR Week? I think we covered most of it.
Yeah, that
I'm
was.
sure there was more we forgot because it was just one thing after another. Just bad. And then like,
Oh,
what
no,
got
wait,
buried in it
I
was,
forgot.
like-
I forgot. They put Andrade and Stephanie Vicur out there
Oh, yeah, that
for
was
that
the other
announcement of AAA. They bought AAA. AAA owes Andrade money.
Yep.
They owe him money. They've owed him for money for months, maybe even a year,
Oh, wow.
maybe even more. I don't know. Can you look up when his last AAA date was?
How do they owe? Oh, AAA owes him
AAA,
money?
yeah.
Owes Andrade.
Oh,
They have
okay.
they had not paid him for Triple Mania. He went there, did the show, never paid him.
Which also, by the way, huge thing that he did it at all. Because if there's one thing you need to know about AAA, it's that they have a legit war with CMLL.
You know
It
how
is,
the
like,
money
bad
war was?
terms.
You know
If you-
Triple
if-
H is going to pay him now.
Yeah.
If you jump from CML to AAA or vice versa, you are not
Excommunicated.
You are excommunicated. You are never coming back. It happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
It was LFI and somebody, and I think somebody else, maybe like Octagon or something like that.
Andrade hasn't wrestled in AAA since 2022. They've owed him money for 3 years.
3 years. 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
You know he went up to Triple H after that press conference. He's
And
like,
you
so
think-
you own this problem now.
And you think that's the bad part? It's not. They put Stephanie Vicur out there.
Oh, yeah.
This might make you pissed off. Stephanie Vicur was formerly dating El Quacero, I believe was his real name.
Mhm.
He was arrested. Do you want to know why he was arrested? Attempted femicide on Stephanie Vicur.
What the
He
hell is
tried to
femicide?
kill her.
Oh.
What did AAA do?
Yeah.
What did AAA do? Defended him. They
Oh.
didn't. They did not strip the belts off of him. He was a trios champion. He remained trios champion.
Maybe that's why they bought AAA. They're going to give Vince McMahon something to do. But like, yeah, just go to Mexico.
AAA becomes sex offender.
Ah!
championship
Well, shit. They
Vince's
gotta
new
start
promotion.
with Alberto being the champion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, Alberto is their champion. He was charged of kidnapping and sexual assault.
Yeah, this seems like it's a perfect transition. Just
Yeah.
slide Vince into gorilla position.
Hey, there's a reason Vikingo was like the only actual AAA guy there, and the rest were just the Mexicans of WWE.
That's the only
Yes,
reason they
Senator
were
Scalia.
up
She
there.
just wrestled in CMLL and lost. Like, oh, you fucking, you're Lucha,
They
right?
literally just got like, all right, you're Mexican stage. You're Mexican stage.
Yeah.
Steph,
Like,
you were
Was
you were in
DJ
Lucha,
up
right?
there? Was he
I
Mayan
don't
up there?
think so. he's even less Mexican.
Yeah. That was all in just God, the AAA, they could not have picked a worse yet funnier company.
I know.
to buy.
I really know.
It would have been less funny if they bought Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
No, that would have been.
We will get to them later, actually.
we will get to them later. A couple quick hits here before we can move on. Kota Ibushi says his visa is finally coming, and he is doing the Phoenix Splash again. He cut some weight and can do that move again.
Good for him, because his last couple of matches sucked, and he got excommunicated to DDT, so...
And then back to Triple H, because I know he hates when we talk about him, so I'm sorry, Triple H. A Triple H statue was unveiled at the WWE Hall of Fame. Not just the bronze statue, but also a wax
The
figure.
wax one's so bad.
So the wax, thoughts on both of those?
The wax figure, it didn't give him eyelids, I swear to God.
Yeah.
He has no eyelids. He's like...
Yeah. And then, is Triple H a statue guy? Does he deserve a statue?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you in a second if he does. Let me see what this thing looks like.
The bronze statue does look like him circa 2001. Like, it's a pretty...
The bronze
pretty
statue is
good-
fine. Like I get
Yeah.
that. I get if you want to make a statue Triple H, it's fair. He's been a long time company guy.
Multiple, like, was he like a 12, 13-time world champion, something like
Say
that?
he kind of saved the company during the first Vince allegations. So, I mean NXT was a big deal back in the day.
NXT, he does.
So I guess he's a statue guy, but right now he's the wax statue guy.
That's awesome.
Onto the TV of the week. This week, AEW celebrated Dynamite passing Monday Nitro. So there are now officially more episodes of AEW Dynamite than there were episodes of WCW
This
Monday
is,
Nitro.
and the funny thing is, in 11 weeks, we're getting Dynamite 300.
Yeah, we're pretty close to Dynamite 300. So, 289, right? Nitro had 288. So it was an awesome episode. Mercedes Moné versus Athena.
That was great.
Incredible match. Josh Alexander, as we mentioned, was the wild card against Hangman.
That
and then
was
joined
great.
the Don Callis family.
That was great.
Love a couple evil bald men teaming up.
Shout out to the Baldies.
The craziest segment was the Hurt Syndicate after they defended the tag titles.
Oh
against
my
Gates of
God,
Agony,
yeah.
which was a fun match,
Yeah.
by the way. MJF provided sex workers to the Hurt Syndicate
You gave him Ladies of the Night.
to try to convince them to let MJF join.
Now, I've
And
seen...
it was funny because it was like 9 women. There was like 3 women to each Hurt Syndicate member.
Now, I've seen a lot of debate over this. I personally thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty funny.
I think it's not too distasteful to be funny because MJF is a piece of shit in character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The MJF character is a bad dude, so I get it.
But Dakota's tweet, #, respect sex workers.
Yeah. So MJF just doing a Godfather gimmick on the
Come
Nitro
get
wrestling.
on the MJF train,
Yep.
dude.
Christian Cage returned, said that he got Nick Wayne his spot in the Best of Super Juniors and got him a Ring of Honor TV title match, which I knew he was winning immediately,
Right.
so that belt is on him when he goes to Japan.
Right.
What do you think of Ospreay versus Takeshita?
I thought it'd be better than it was, honestly.
Oh, really? I thought it was incredible.
I know.
It had a
I
great
know.
time.
I know it was amazing, but I still thought that if you give them the right opportunity,
I just
the
think
right
it's-
place, right time,
It's
this could have
probably
been way
just 'cause
better.
We've seen them do it on pay-per-view when they have more time, but I just thought it was an incredible TV match.
Yeah. For tease is really good.
One
though.
thing I don't like, though, is that the Josh Alexander Hangman match was a quarterfinal, and this was a semifinal on the same night
Yeah.
of the same tournament. Don't love that scheduling-wise. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And then Samoa Joe makes Jon Moxley pass out our new trios champions, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata. The Ops. What'd you think of that?
I wish it was Hook because more Taz is good for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Hook got hurt. I'd like legitimately.
Okay,
I think
okay.
injured. I think he got injured in training, is what I saw. Like he working out, he hurt himself.
But Hobbs, with the belt, looks beautiful.
They all look great with the belts. This goes towards my plan that if anything isn't working, just put a belt on Samoa Joe and instantly it's better. That's kind of
Yeah,
my
if anything's not working,
philosophy on wrestling.
the Ops are the three guys you just want to throw a belt on and you're like, okay, that's good. That's good.
Did you guys ever see Samoa Joe's promo with Fluffy?
Maybe.
No, I have not.
Oh, they did something about being judged for a promo, and it was Gabriel Iglesias and Samoa Joe. And then Samoa Joe is like, "Oh, tell your jokes now," and he gets up in his face, and
Yeah.
Gabriel's just like, "You smell like spam." Like,
It was like some real like TNA 2012 shit right there.
Yeah.
I like the Ops getting help from Swerve and Willow, and then just kind of the whole babyface locker room celebrating with them. Not just celebrating that they beat the Death Riders, but celebrating AEW and what all wrestling is.
Fucking Speedball is out there. He's only been like 2 weeks. He's already tired of
He's
John
already one of
Moxley.
the guys. He's best friends with Willow Nightingale.
He's already
now.
tired of John Moxley and best
Yeah.
friends with Willow.
I really like it. I thought it was a great time, and I love the little celebration. The picture of Katsuyori Shibata like looking at the title that he just won, and in the background, Will Ospreay's popping a bottle of champagne is really funny. I love Will Ospreay.
If you leave
dude.
Japan, won't let Shibata go for 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's because they're worried about his injuries. I kind of understand it.
It just gives him a belt. Lets him have a fun
Yeah.
time. I am aware that this man's brain was for part of the time not in his head.
Yeah.
I am aware,
Yeah.
but still.
On Collision, we had Trent Beretta return and Rocky Romero
Ugh.
joining the Don Callis family.
This is so stupid, dude.
Whatever.
I do not. They're trying to make Trent Beretta a thing again, and like last time, it's not gonna.
Here's my
fucking
thing: the
work.
Don Callis family needs jobbers, dude. They
a
need
good
guys
point.
to throw out the baby face.
It's a good point.
They
The
need
worst-
a Solo Sikoa,
The
and it can be
worst
Trent Beretta.
part of this is that this means Rocky Romero is continuing his ELP feud in Japan by being Takeshita's partner.
I saw that somebody was like, CMLL Rocky Romero just took over AEW Rocky Romero because he's been a heel in CMLL for like a long time.
Well, he just turned heel in New Japan too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was acting heelish in the match, and then I guess in the
Yeah.
post-match interview, he turned on him fully.
Adam Cole retained the TNT title over fellow Departy member Claudio Castagnoli. Pretty good match. I liked it a lot. Nick Wayne wins the TV title, like I said.
It's funny how the Death Riders are so much better without John Moxley.
Dude, this whole time I've liked the Death Riders. I won't say it's great. I won't say it's the best thing AEW's been doing, but
Easy.
I've liked it. And then I love Mercedes Moné and Harley Cameron as a team. The chemistry these two have is incredible.
With Little Monet, it's perfect.
Little Monet, yeah, this is
Also-
Harley Cameron's gonna win her over and make her the biggest babyface in wrestling.
Also, with Harley Cameron, anytime she could team somebody like Mercedes Monet, get some more like experience in the ring and get some more training,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. She's in-ring ability away from being a superstar to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last thing on TV, just from SmackDown, congratulations, Carmelo Hayes, on being your Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Everything else from SmackDown kind of is a moot point because we'll talk about Mania now. But congrats to Carmelo, I guess. Cool for him. You guys ready to talk about
I think you said something last week about what if Carmelo Hayes won the Battle
did
Royal.
I? Yeah, I did.
You
I
you
did
totally
predict
did
that.
say that.
Congratulations. Add a point to your total.
It's not going to help. Let's do the predictions. We'll talk about the prediction game right now. So, couple things, just housekeeping. 2 of the matches changed significantly, with Bayley's kayfabe injury and Rey Mysterio's real injury. So
His groin.
I just knocked those 2 off, and whatever was your highest, instead of being 13, is now 11, and just kind of dropped down, so that none of us could be hurt by that, because we both picked Rey, who didn't end up being in the match. We all picked Liv and Raquel, which as soon as the man entrance hits, we all knew it was over.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That second, I was like, oh.
So I took those off. So instead of max points being 91, I believe max points, let me see, max points now was 66. So in third place, with 51 points was Jolka.
Like you said.
Yes.
In second place with 58 points was myself.
Uh-oh.
And winning with 63 of a possible 66 points was Shane.
Let's go.
That's all good. I didn't want you to win again. As long as you didn't win, I was happy.
Shane only missed he put 1 point on Charlotte and Tiffany going to a no contest, and he put 2 points on CM Punk. So that's all he.
You know what's funny? It's really funny. If it wasn't no contest, I probably would have had Tiffany winning.
Yeah.
So,
So-
fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, you missed on your 2 lowest confidence point.
Didn't we
Thanks.
just really easy to predict for me though?
I guess, yeah. I mean, is it because I won Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble?
Well, I guess.
So
I guess with the crappy Mania build,
yeah,
it was kind of easy to guess the winners.
Did we see the run times?
I think the total. Oh, I guess we can talk runtime. Speaking of runtime,
I felt like it was about 9.
Let me
total.
see. WrestleMania.
I didn't do it for sure though, but I know like the whole review. I know it was like
Night
4.5
1 was
hours.
4 hours 2 minutes. Night 2 was 3 hours 4. So it was like 7 hours 44 minutes. And here, let me find our. Let me get back to our predictions page.
I think I went under that.
Yeah, you went about an hour under that. I was closest. I had 8 hours 7 minutes, so I was off by like 23 minutes. So if it had come to any kind of tie, I would have gotten the tiebreaker on that. Also, though, Shane, do you want to talk about our total wrestling times that we watched this week?
Yes.
So Shane and I kept track between AEW, the show we reviewed for our classic that we're going to record right after this, which I'll just say it's Extreme Rules 2011. We both watched that. And then all of the GCW, other companies, Dragon Gate, Defy, all of that, plus the WrestleMania, plus I watched part of the Hall of Fame. So we kept track of all of the time that we watched. I ended up with a grand total of 39 hours and 4 minutes. Oh, also included Raw last night on mine. So I ended up with 39 hours and 4 minutes, which is about 6.5 hours a day over the course of 6 days.
Jesus. Damn, that's almost like my work schedule.
Yeah, that's what I said to
I know.
Shane. My full-time job was professional wrestling this week. My biggest day was Sunday. I watched 9 hours and 54 minutes of wrestling on Sunday. But I didn't work on Sunday, so that was my day to catch up on a lot of stuff. What was your total, Shane?
44 hours 6 minutes. I did not do much else that week. This week.
44 hours and 6 minutes.
Yeah. So, my biggest day was, I'm going to say it was either Saturday or Thursday. Thursday I had a total of 7 hours with 3 shows, and Saturday I had 4 shows for about the same amount of time.
So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Crazy. We watched a lot of wrestling
Yes,
this
we
week.
did. Yes, we did. I watched
And
a lot.
included in that was WrestleMania 41, so let's
Which
get right into it.
was the worst of the shows I watched, honestly.
Potentially, yeah, probably.
Actually,
I
no,
think
it
night
was
one was definitely the worst
classic
show.
one.
I fell asleep night 1. I had to finish watching it in the morning when
that
I
was
woke
my
up.
fucking day off, too. It sucked.
I know. I didn't even have to get up in the morning, and I was up at 4 in the morning watching WrestleMania because I fell asleep.
Yes. We can start. Opens with Triple H coming out. Welcome to WrestleMania.
I go WrestleMania of the game.
And then something that I predicted, night 1, match 1, entrance 1 was Jey Uso. I've been saying that for like 3 or 4 weeks. That was
It
gonna
made
happen.
sense.
Jey Uso and Gunther have a bad match that ends with Gunther very quickly tapping to a submission.
Free my
Yeah.
mans. Free my
Shitty finish.
mans.
It's like they shoved a square peg in a round hole to give Jey Uso the championship.
I gave this match 2 stars. This was easily my worst match of WrestleMania. Even the 3-minute squash on night 2 was better than this because at least that's what we expected of that match.
Yeah.
And I know I don't like Jey Uso, but I expected a little more of Gunther here, and it just didn't show.
This is the first Gunther stinker in forever, too.
The first Gunther stinker I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the first. Yeah.
He should have just kept the title.
Yes. Wholeheartedly agree. The New Day beat the Viking Raiders, or the whatever the fuck you want to call them. New Day beat those big ass Vikings.
My first point I wanted to bring up about that. It looked like the Viking Raiders got their damn entrance gear from Walmart, just plastic, and looked like they had cup holders on. It was terrible.
Well, there wasn't a sponsor involved, so they didn't spend as much money as they did on like Drew McIntyre's entrance.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Because I don't know if you
too.
noticed this about WrestleMania 41, but it was only about sponsors. Fuck the wrestling. It was about how many damn logos can we fit on this mat.
That was one thing that annoyed me, was they came out dressed as the sponsors. I'm like, this is so fucking monetized now.
Oh, everything. And like
The WWE just has the middle turnbuckle. That's it.
yeah, and then like the LED screens will have different. Like one match was sponsored by the General. I think the moment that has pissed me off the most about this is the Dominic Ray match 2 years ago was sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh God,
Like,
I remember that. I remember
the
that.
most heated blood feud on that card.
And
Literal
in
blood feud.
a
Father and son.
a fucking
And
mascot.
the fucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot was out there.
Go like that. Yeah, I
Like
remember that.
the one where Ray had the Great Muta mask and Dominic entered.
I forgot
from the
about
jail
that.
thing. Fucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch was the sponsor of that. So this kind of shit pisses me off. But
I'd go back to paying $75 a WrestleMania to have
To
it the
not
way
have
it
this.
fucking
Yeah.
was.
fuck, man. So I gave that 2 3/4. It was a fine match.
The Slim Jim sponsor at least reminds me when Randy Savage destroyed his knees. So I'll give him that.
Yeah. Anything that reminds me of Randy Savage is a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they can't take the Ouya out of the Slim Jim.
Yeah.
A lot
commercials.
better than this show was any Randy Savage match ever. So
Yeah.
Not one gas station will sell it to me. They have the Macho Man with the Slim Jims in him, like the big display. I've offered them hundreds of dollars, and they're like, "No, that stays here." I'm like, "You guys suck."
Yeah. Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
it's fine.
It was fine. 2.5 stars is what I gave it. It wasn't.
Yawn.
It was a good build with a kind of lackluster finish.
Yeah, and
Is Jade Cargill gonna get good at wrestling eventually?
No.
Or is this kind of just what it is?
did you
It's her
notice
day
her
job.
attire covered up just her muscles?
Did it?
Made her look more feminine than like
Huh.
any other match she's ever been in.
Really? Because the whole appeal of Jade Cargill is that she's fucking muscular as shit.
The
She's
gear
like
she
she's
already
ripped.
needs new gear.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
There were some wardrobe malfunctions in the match too. Like she needs new gear.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me of like Alley Catch, where her gear was just all over the place in the olden days. Like golly.
They need to figure it out. The first pretty good match of the night, I would say, was Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. I think I gave it 3 1/4. I thought
no
they had a pretty
shit.
good time.
Jacob
Yeah.
Fatu's there.
New U.S. champion.
But shout out to Solo Sikoa for like not being pissed.
Yeah,
That
Solo Sikoa back in the role of being a hype man for a much better wrestler.
not being
Something
not
he
being
should do
not
instead
being
of-
pissed on not having a
instead of
match and
main
just
eventing fucking SummerSlam.
showing up for his cousin brother.
Yeah.
No, I was kind of a fan with that.
He's a good hype man.
He is.
He's
He really
a
is.
terrible main event level wrestler.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some people are just better at other stuff.
During the Uso match, were you guys watching it like hoping Jimmy was gonna kick him in the face or something?
I was definitely watching Raw, hoping Jimmy was going to kick him in the
Like
face.
even when they were up in the crowd, I'm like, all right, he can still throw him down the stairs. This ain't over
Yeah.
yet. Like,
Yeah. Then we got to El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix.
this
Really good match with the wrong winner for me. Like, I gave us 3 3/4 because it was a really fun match. I mean, El Grande Americano did a 450 moonsault. Like,
Yeah.
that was insane. That might have been the spot of Mania. It's just, I don't like El Grande Americano winning. One, because this should have been a short-term gimmick where he loses and then Rey Fenix or Rey Mysterio comes out and they demask him and it's Chad Gable the whole time. But also, like, this is what they did right before they cut to the AAA announcement. So you just had AAA legend Rey Fenix. He's won like 6, 7 titles in AAA, something like that. And you have him lose to the fake luchador right before you announce you bought AAA. Which I guess is a fun little metaphor for how WWE is just going to fuck over AAA.
Grande Americano is going to be the next AAA World
Mega champion.
Champion.
Oh, at least Gable's a good wrestler. He had a he had a
Yeah,
move
like I said, great match with a bad ending.
No,
He hit a
great
move
entrance.
that Sasuke had to quit doing because he knocked himself out every time he did it.
The 450 moonsault that we were just
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah.
The mariachi entrance, that might even top the match for me.
It was really funny that they put the old like 2000s NBC
Yeah.
show goes to Mexico, so now it's a little yellow. I really loved that.
Just
I
one
thought that was
filter.
funny.
The Breaking Bad Mexico filter shit.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny. I did like that on Raw when they show highlights for WrestleMania, it'll say WrestleMania Saturday or Sunday, but for that match it said WrestleMania Sabado. Like Saturday in Spanish. But God, I don't.
Chad
Don't
Gable,
love it.
for real, though, is doing really good at a luchador style.
Yeah. The thing, Chad Gable is the ultimate chicken salad out of chicken shit guy right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything they give him is terrible. But somehow he's one of the most entertaining things every week. Like, even building up to this, the whole gimmick of him being sick every week, so he can't wrestle, but El Grande Americano can. Like, that's funny.
I want to see him win the U.S. title and then try to rebrand it the Mexico title.
That'd be really funny.
Like Alberto did.
Yeah.
I had another point on El Grande Americano, but also the metal plate in the mask, classic lucha heel stick. I love that.
Rudo type shit right there.
Yeah. Onto our WWE Women's Title match: Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. This was another 2.5 for me, just kind of a mad match. Charlotte Flair showing on the national stage how fucking garbage she is. What I've been saying since like 2017, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Just sandbagging the finish. And,
She's terrible.
yep. Any notes on Tiffany and Charlotte? Right winner on this one. at least.
Charlotte sucks.
Yep. She's the worst horsewoman by far. And then our main event: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. I give this 4.25. Easily the best match of night one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Liked it.
Best
100%.
I
intro
love
package.
the GTS spear curb stomp spot. Love that.
I had like an uncontrollable grin on my face when they started playing this Firebird.
Oh, dude.
I was like,
When
I
heard
was like,
that-
I had
that,
this
like,
big ass
lift,
grin.
Dude, I was freaking out.
I love how Seth Rollins referenced John Moxley and actually called him Mox
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah, that was
Ambrose.
nice.
You got no bloodline. You got no Mox. You got no Heyman. Yeah, like that was awesome.
I've been sitting on that all night. I'm like, come on, we got to get to this part.
Yeah, doesn't he sort of referenced Mox in his promo on SmackDown this week too, right? I don't think he said John Moxley, but he sort of kind of hinted at him.
I didn't watch SmackDown. I was too busy watching the
I didn't know.
clip.
Maybe you saw the clip of the of the promo on Twitter or something.
This is the week I actually didn't see anything from SmackDown on Twitter at all.
Yeah, I only saw that Carmelo won the Battle Royal, and then I saw people pissed off that the TLC match is happening this week on SmackDown instead of being on WrestleMania.
Oh.
Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. TLC for the tag titles would have been easily the third, if not second, best match on WrestleMania.
Yeah, there was definitely room to make night one better.
Something they've been, and also that match specifically with these three tag teams, they've been building to for like 6 months.
Yeah.
These three teams have been playing hot potato with the tag belts since the summer. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm going to finish this live on SmackDown.
So night one, overall thoughts.
One of
What do you
the...
guys think of the Heyman thing? We didn't talk about that.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Paul Heyman is maybe a piece of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I mean, he is a piece of shit. I'm wrong. He's a piece of shit. But he is the best at facial expressions.
Oh, by far.
I love how Roman Reigns just caught his hand, too, when he did it. He just clenched
pull
his
his
legs.
hand out? Yeah.
So it's like... "Ugh."
Yeah.
The My Faction tutorial in 2025 is just pictures of Paul Heyman making the craziest faces ever.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's great.
So Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins now.
That's going to be really interesting. And I just want to see what CM Punk and Roman Reigns have to say.
Oh yeah, because we got a little brawl. We haven't really heard from CM. Well, I mean, Punk talked a little bit, but not really. It was more of just a brawl.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that's a
catch
first.
Raw this week.
Yeah.
I was going home to watch it, and then he called. He's like, "You on the podcast?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
That's all right. Then we kicked off night 2 with we actually kicked it off with Stephanie McMahon, hyping up whatever.
How much bigger can her boobs get?
Who?
They just keep growing.
Stephanie McMahon.
Well, you know what? You know what? The thing is, she's back on as a single lady. Because if you looked when Triple H showed the Hall of Fame ring,
No wedding ring
No
on Triple H
wedding
finger.
ring.
By the way, the new Hall of Fame ring sucks. It looks
Terrible.
terrible. The old one was such a cool looking. It's basically just the world title in a ring form. It looks like ass. Like, I
Oh.
hate it. But with the first match of night 2 was the best match of night 2. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. This was my match of Mania. I really loved this match. I liked Io winning. She deserved it more than anybody. And like this match was so good that Bianca is one of legitimately my favorite women's wrestlers of all time. Just favorite wrestlers of all time. I love Bianca. There was a point where I was about to be pissed off because I thought she was going to pin Io Sky. Like there was a point where I thought she had won the match and I was so pissed.
Like I voted for Rhea Ripley when we did it on the podcast last week, but even watching it, I'm just like, no, I don't want Rhea Ripley to win this.
Yeah,
Like I
it should
really
be
want
Io.
to see Io.
Yes. Because the whole storyline was that her getting pushed to the side for the other two to feud.
Yeah.
And she was the champion. Like, even playing into that, she had the first entrance on this match.
Right.
Like, just getting pushed to the side, even though she's the champion, and then proving herself at WrestleMania was the best way to do this. And I love that they did it that way. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Oh,
they
yeah.
easily could have put the title back on Rhea. We talked about how popular she is already.
Oh, absolutely.
Any thoughts on the women's triple threat, Shane?
it was the match of Mania by far, as you said. To me, it was one of the only good matches of Mania.
Yeah, I mean, I think it
It felt like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it was a really, really good match. Then we had Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre with the Sin City Street Fight. A match that went beyond my expectations, I'll really say.
I thought of that as a filler match at first, but they did a really good job.
Shit, I was in it from the entrance, alone. You know, Kerry King, fucking Slayer. You know,
Yeah. Drew McIntyre on his
Drew
Doom
McIntyre
shit.
and his Doom Halo weird
Oh
shit.
Yeah.
my,
I-
yeah, that's
I-
another one.
Was it sponsored by the new Doom?
It was
game?
sponsored by the new Doom game.
Okay.
This
Did you
match
see
was.
he couldn't get his fucking gloves off?
He couldn't?
Like, he was like,
I didn't see that. I did
several
not see that.
times.
But I'm like,
I do wish he would have. There was like a shield on the thing that he entered with. I wish that would have been used in the match.
Yeah, he just kind
Yeah.
of kneeled at it for
Yeah.
a second. That was kind of weird,
It was kind of a, hey, here's the sponsor.
right?
you
tonight's
sponsor in the match. Come on.
Yeah. I give that 3 3/4. I thought it was a really good
I'd
little
agree.
WWE
I'd agree.
Street Fight.
Yeah,
I
I'd
love
give it
the
a 3.
still bored at work, LOL.
Yeah.
Selfie in the tweet. That was
Yeah.
really funny. Speaking of people who couldn't get their entrance gear off, new Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio. So, if you don't know, that mask is a replica of a mask Rey Mysterio Sr. wore.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he was wearing that mask. Also, just kind of fits the Judgment Day vibe, I thought. Too.
Absolutely.
And then he just couldn't get it off.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
that was.
He should have worn the mask.
And then I love Wade Barrett being like, that's the point of lucha masks.
Right.
You're not supposed to be able to take them off. Or else your opponent could take them off in the match. I love Wade just improv trying to cover for Dom. This was a pretty good match. I give it 3.5. I like everybody in this match, so I thought it was fun. And Dom's a
I hate
babyface,
saying
man.
it with the right winner.
The right winner, and he's...
I'm gonna.
Did you hear the pop when he won?
That's why I'm gonna say 5 stars, and that is my WrestleMania match. And then, like, that's my top
fair.
one.
It was a good match, and just the moment where he's just feeling it, and he runs back to the ring and
Yeah.
holds the top, like
Then after, did you
That
see
kid is a
the?
babyface.
Did you see his interview after the show?
no.
The whole crowd outside just chanting "Dirty, Dirty Dom," like going nuts
Dirty
for this dude.
Dom, dirty, dirty Dom. Yeah.
I'm like, I was looking forward to booing him coming up
Well, see,
next
because
week.
that's the thing about Dom is that it was never boos out of real hatred. It was boos out of you are a great heel and we are loving this, so here are your boos.
Yeah,
That's what it always was, and now he can be. If they do this right, he can become a real babyface with real huge cheers.
and big potential now.
Dude, it's
That's-
awesome. I'm so happy for him.
Who
I
thought
mean-
a month ago we'd be talking about Dominic Mysterio like that?
Oh yeah, I mean any point. Like I didn't.
He's been carrying the women's like baggage for almost 2 years now.
Just it's awesome. I'm proud of him. Like it's so cool to see because Ray is my guy, so it's so cool to see Dominic succeed.
Yeah.
like it's really awesome.
I love how he incorporates Eddie in there too.
Oh, yeah.
His moveset is just
his real dad, Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the 4-way?
That was pretty good. I mean, again, right winner. Don was right winner. I think.
I like that he pinned Finn.
Yeah,
I like that he-
because legitimately, I think they're gonna turn him face at some point.
They have to soon.
Because
I don't care what you had planned. Turn him face next week.
Dominic cares more about wrestling history than most people care to give him credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Like his tattoos on his knuckles are like famous Luchador masks.
Uh-huh.
The dude cares.
Yeah, he loves Lucha Libre.
It doesn't matter what direction they push him in or what storyline they push him in. They made their choice. That's going to be his reaction for a long time.
Yeah, the fans love him. Speaking of big reactions, Randy Orton's surprise opponent, TNA World Heavyweight Champion and the biggest meme of August 2024, Joe Hendry.
Oh.
Good things first. Positive.
Do you know it
Positive
was
first.
supposed to be Jeff Hardy?
It was supposed to be Jeff Hardy?
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I'm going to kill myself. That's a joke. Legally, that's a joke.
We do not condone suicide.
Please don't take us down YouTube, please.
So, for just positives first, though. Insane that the TNA World title was on WrestleMania. On TV.
Yes.
He did, unfortunately, get a big reaction.
I guess, yeah, positively good for him.
Is
Good
it
for him.
Is
Like,
it good for him?
I mean,
Is being squashed on WrestleMania good?
I guess.
I mean,
he,
Is
got,
that
he
what-
got the bag.
Is that what pro wrestlers
he
aspire
he
to?
got paid. He hit the pay window. It's fine.
I would take that in a heartbeat. Like, do you want a job to Randy Orton? No one's gonna like it, but yeah, pay me. Like,
Yeah.
glorified
okay. I guess
jobber.
I can't go any farther without the negatives. I wish Randy would have punted him back to August so he could be relevant again.
That would be amazing.
But yeah, this just wasn't interesting. I mean, WWE love their dead memes. Yeet hasn't been a thing for 8 years now. Joe Hendry hasn't been a thing for 8 months. Like it's, I don't know. What do you think, Shane? What are your thoughts on the Joe Hendry?
I just think it's stupid. It's
Also, like some partnership this is. Like this is just another example of WWE showing that they think every other wrestling is lesser than them. TNA is a partner promotion. Can you imagine how crazy it would be if there was if a big name AEW, certified AEW Hall of Famer, like Hangman Page, had an open challenge on All In, and then he beat the IWGP World Champion from New Japan in 3 minutes? Do you know, like, the rage that would be, the chaos that would come from that? No pun intended, because we got a former member of a stable called Chaos. But it just shows that WWE doesn't give a shit about TNA, to me. That's part of it, too. It's just, this is their world champion, and that's what you're going to do to him on your biggest show of the year? Not even going to give him 5 minutes?
He's lucky he got that amount of time. There's some wrestlers that don't get that time.
I know. It's just...
That are probably sitting in the locker room like, why is this guy wrestling Randy Orton? When
Street Profits
right
weren't
here.
on the card.
Yeah.
Chad Gable wasn't
Chad
on
Gable
the
was
card.
on the. Oh, shut up.
Right?
Bailey was on the card,
Carmelo
but
Hayes. Dude, Bailey
Carmelo-
versus Randy Orton would have gone nuts. I would have loved
would've.
Bailey.
It
versus
would've.
Randy Orton. That would
However,
have been awesome.
but however, Joe Hendry is on the card because he was shit posting 8 months ago.
That was a terrible decision. It was a terrible decision. They could have went with
Jeff Hardy.
yeah.
They could have gotten Rob Van Dam. They could have gone with Carmelo or Andrade.
They could have
or-
wheeled Sabu out there.
Yeah.
Like,
There's so many other directions they could have had Sammy. They could have had Jimmy Uso, Karrion Kross.
yeah.
People who did good work leading to WrestleMania but didn't have matches. I don't know. And then fucking followed this up with Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. This is actually the match that clinched our prediction game. This is the match that clinched Shane the win because I had AJ, and he was already leading. Everybody had Cena. He had more points on Cena than I did, so he was gonna win, unless AJ won. And Logan Paul wins because of his carrying cross.
I think I said I fucking hate you at least 80 times when he walked out, had the drone, had like the 9 different freaking views of him walking to the ring. That was, he's so good at getting under people's skin.
Because he's just a piece of shit.
He really
It's
is.
not getting under his skin. He's just a legitimate bad person.
Yeah.
And he just embraces
Yeah,
it.
he's good at getting under people's skin the way Charles Manson was good at getting under people's skin. He's just a bad dude. And then
And he won.
and he won because he's good at doing wrestling moves, but not in any order that matters or with any kind of reasoning or anything.
Yeah.
He's just good. He's just an athlete.
That's all. He didn't like wrestling before he got into wrestling. It was
he
just something for him to
watched
do.
in like 2008 or something when he was a kid, and then now,
Mhm.
or whenever. Shane, what do you think of Logan Paul and AJ Styles?
Stupid.
All right, top 2 people you want to go to AEW the most right now.
AJ Styles
Mm-hmm.
and God, Gunther.
I
Yeah.
was saying AJ Styles and Bayley. Those are my 2.
Yeah.
Gunther would be the top 3. though.
Yeah.
all 3 of them. They just deserve better. They don't deserve this. Speaking of Bayley, she gets kayfabe injury out of her match teaming with Lyra, and is replaced by Becky Lynch.
Who they had nothing to do with her after Mania. They just threw her into Mania.
It's so that they could have a 1-day title reign, and then she could turn on Lyra Valkyria.
No. That was her idea after the fact.
Really? They
Yeah.
had no plan after?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, is that what happened?
Yeah, so on Raw, they lost the titles right back to Liv and Raquel.
Okay.
And Becky turned on Lyra. Which, cool. This would be cool if it didn't mean that Bayley had to sacrifice her Mania spot. Because she earned
Right.
it. She worked really hard going into Mania. She obviously should have been on there.
She could have just
I
screwed them
think-
out of the titles at
I
Mania.
think a Becky-Lyra Intercontinental title feud will elevate the women's Intercontinental title and make it really mean something for the first time. Ultimately, didn't love it. I gave the match 2.5. Wasn't great.
Yeah, it'd be a 1 for me.
Do we want to talk main event now? John Cena, Cody Rhodes.
Sure.
Yeah, that was.
This was a pretty solid match until Travis Scott got involved, and then it just went all downhill from there.
I don't know why it had to be Travis Scott. The Rock should have done that spot, if anyone.
Yeah, it's almost like the thing
Yeah,
that
but
launches the story.
But Fiend. Yeah, you know, right? Yeah.
It's almost like the thing that launched the story should matter in the story at all at some point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
It's dumb. Everybody knew The Rock wasn't going to be there. The Maono issues were happening. It was reported months before. Why do it in the first place?
I don't know.
It just came out actually. The Rock was doing an interview with Pat McAfee. He gave out the details. They didn't like the Elimination Chamber that wasn't selling tickets, so they brought The Rock in, and then they came to the turning John Cena heel.
Okay, so this only happened to make money and to boost The Rock's ego.
Yeah.
The Rock, whenever he needs an ego boost, he goes back to WWE because the fans will love it because he's a legend, right?
Yep.
And the whole reason that we even got that Bloodline story last year is because Black Adam fucking bombed.
Right.
Because everybody realized that everybody was like, hey, maybe we don't like this guy. All of his recent movies have been shit. We're kind of getting tired of him in Hollywood. And then he goes to WWE for a while, signs on for an A24 movie. And, yeah, it's just bad storytelling.
100%.
Like, it's like, imagine if in Star Wars, there's that opening scene that establishes Darth Vader, and then he just doesn't.
He's
show up
gone.
again. He doesn't show up again. He gets mentioned one more time, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just basic storytelling. When you learn how stories work, it's
Right.
like the I'm blanking on it. The like hero's journey, that thing. It's like the basic thing is there's an inciting incident, and that was The Rock corrupting Cena, and then it just doesn't matter. The match I gave 3 1/4 because it was a pretty fun match until a certain point. It probably would have been a 4 without all the Travis Scott shit.
Right.
It's like a 4 that just took a dive down to 3 1/4 for me.
Yeah, it was pretty low on my end.
Cena wins 17 though.
Yeah.
I know. I voted for it too, and I
We all
still didn't
picked it 'cause
believe
we
it.
Yeah.
knew it was gonna happen.
My favorite thing is that this is like LeBron passing Kareem on a free throw.
See, I still have Vince McMahon flashbacks, so I'm like, no, they're not going to let Cena take the title here. They'll never let him do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way it was for many years.
Other things that happened at WrestleMania: Stone Cold ran over that lady.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he hit the
I don't
barricade.
know.
And knocked the lady
I'm
back.
sure neither of you have seen it, but Stardom ran a promo where they had Tom Nakano promote the show, and they get ran over by Sai Kamitani.
That's really funny.
Hold on.
Other promotions are already parodying this.
Somebody had Stone Cold running over Tom Nakano now.
Anything else happen at Mania of any interest that wasn't like wrestling matches?
Dana White got booed out of the building.
Twice, right? They showed him twice and he got booed both times.
Colby Covington got booed out of the building.
Mhm.
Shit, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes damn near got booed out of the building.
does Cody Rhodes do UFC and be right wing? Is that what's going on? Is that
Well, the fans are going to start booing him, so he has to pick a new company to go to. So congratulations, future Triple Crown champion Cody Rhodes.
Don't do this to me.
Okay, maybe former TNA, maybe future TNA World Heavyweight Champion Cody Rhodes.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
he goes back to his
I
roots.
feel like he was already TNA World
No, I
Champion.
think he was GFW. I think he was in that weird point where it wasn't technically the TNA title. It was like
Oh,
the
when Jeff
GFW.
Jarrett was running his gold scam, yeah.
His
Cody
world,
Rhodes, AAA champion.
AAA champion Cody Rhodes.
He'd be
Yeah,
better than Alberto.
because his world title wins are Ring of Honor, WWE, and if you count it, NWA.
I'd count NWA.
You count NWA? Okay, so those are his 3 world title wins: Ring of Honor, WWE, and NWA. Trying to remember if there was anything else interesting from WrestleMania. Other than that, yeah.
Stone Cold ran over a lady.
I mean, that's-
They are afraid of the lady's response, actually.
Are they?
Yes.
Yeah,
She's
Nick
probably going
Khan
to sue.
went over and talked to her.
Well, yeah, like she got ran over by Steve Austin.
Yeah,
Sorry, I ran you over. I gotta go
I
back.
would be suing. Yeah, dude.
I'm like, what happened?
WWE's constantly telling us how much fucking money they have.
That's
I want
true.
a piece of that.
That's
Are you
true.
okay? I'm like, I'd be really
No.
okay with free food
I'm
for the rest
not
of the
okay.
night.
I'm not okay.
Like,
was there
what-
anything interesting from the press conferences?
I didn't watch
Oh
them.
my
I
God.
didn't fucking watch
Jey
them.
Uso was drunk again.
Fucking Becky
Hey, I
didn't
Lynch
either,
brings
but I
her
saw-
daughter
Jey
up.
Uso drunk.
I
That
did kind of like that.
Jey Uso is allowed
kinda-
to get drunk because that's what gave him his entire character.
That is what launched his whole character. I do like that I don't know, Lynch Rollins, whatever you want to call her, is like WWE's Riley Curry now.
Ro
She's-
Lopez.
Yeah, she's going to be on all the. She's going to be at all the press conferences with those. Probably with. Well, I guess they're both heels now. Dude, what if
Right.
Rose turns heel with them? Dude, Rose starts shooting at the press conference.
Fuck you.
That is so funny. Overall, out of 10, what do you give WrestleMania this year?
6.
I was thinking 5.
4.
Okay, so we're all kind of in the same range.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not the best
Kind
of
of mid.
WrestleManias.
I guess it's
Mid,
average
yeah,
out here.
mid,
It's
yeah.
kind of an average wrestling.
Yeah.
It definitely didn't have the feel that a WrestleMania should have, and I don't know if that's the UFCification of WWE or
It's
what it is,
gotta be.
But
That's
felt-
all the advertising.
you know what it felt like?
So the
It's-
UFCification of
yeah,
WWE.
it also felt like it was they were going for moments and not.
Because that's
For-
what it's. Because it's It's like you said, it's the UFCification WWE.
Yeah, they're
What
going
do
for
people-
social media.
When
clips.
people think about UFC, they think about the knockouts, the submissions. They don't
Wait,
think about the actual
the
whole fight.
first thing I think of is that time that guy got knocked out in like 4 seconds or whatever. Like
Yeah.
the one flying knee and knocked the guy out.
Oh,
Dude,
I think
Yeah.
about
remember where
I
was
think
when
about the
first
guy
saw
who
that.
said I think about the guy who said he'd die for Trump getting choked out in front of Trump.
That was really funny.
have you ever seen The Kiss of Death?
No.
It was this 2 MMA fighters in Japan, and one went up and kissed him on the lips before the fight, and he just headbutted him out cold.
Nice.
Japanese MMA, most like pro wrestling. Japanese MMA is a lot better than American MMA.
So it just felt. But you know what I realized kind of is, it's because Triple H is an Attitude Era guy. And
Did you?
He's trying to book it like the Attitude Era, but that doesn't work anymore. The Attitude Era worked because that was new, that was edgy, that was cool at the time.
Did
But
you
now,
see when Travis Scott
Not
was
gonna
in
lie,
the
that
ring?
hurt a lot to hear. That's hard to
I
take
just-
in.
Sorry, you old fart.
I think the Attitude Era is great. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think Attitude Era booking tactics work in 2025 because wrestling has evolved, right?
Yeah.
Just like how old WWF booking tactics wouldn't have worked during the Attitude Era. That's why the Attitude Era had to happen. The old tactics weren't working, so they did something new and edgy and cool, like I said, and that worked then. But it doesn't work now.
No,
And
not
that's the
really.
way Triple H is trying to book it. The Travis Scott angle is such a that's Mike
That's
Tyson.
terrible.
Everybody had
That's
their
Mike Tyson.
everybody had their goddamn phones out too. They're just going for the moment.
Yeah, they
Oh my
just
god,
got
it's
social media
it's
views.
the Fiend, man, Fiend.
That guy is. He had no business being in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania was booked entirely for that graphic they showed on Raw where they had like 3 billion views on social media or whatever the hell it was. You know what I mean? That's what it was for.
I've kind of came to the point where I'm just not gonna watch Raw and SmackDown at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of
I
it.
honestly, if it wasn't for this podcast, I would watch Mania, SummerSlam, Rumble, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank. And then maybe a match here and there. If somebody's like, man, CM Punk and Seth Rollins on Raw was crazy, I'll like go watch that. But like,
My sign for next Monday is gonna say this better be better than WrestleMania.
Oh my god,
dude.
it is next Monday, isn't it?
that
Cool.
is.
I don't give a shit anymore. I really don't care.
Do you care about the Mick Foley comedy set? You gonna go watch that?
I actually thought about it.
You
Yeah,
actually thought
Mick
about
Foley
it?
is
Thought
pretty
about
funny.
Raw after Mania, big night. A lot of stuff happened, starting with Cena Orton to set up the St. Louis Backlash.
Very predictable.
Yep.
I did like seeing his promo.
Yep, I did. I
I
liked him counting down the dates
Yeah.
that he has. That's very heelish. I like that. This is how many times you're going to get to see me. for the
Right.
rest of my career.
27 and I'm gone. No
Well, see,
more.
what's funny is like he will be back though, because he'll be put in the Hall of Fame and he'll do random appearances like what all legends do.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Taker. And
He's gonna turn. He's
Flair
gonna.
and-
When does he turn face?
I think we don't see him for I bet it'll be Hall of Fame next year. Like when he gets announced to be inducted in the Hall of Fame next year is when like we won't see him for a few months, and then like March of next year or late February he'll be announced as the headliner for the Hall of Fame next year, and that's when he'll come back as a babyface. And then so I like the idea of seeing Orton. You have to run it back one more time. Doing it in Orton's hometown is really cool. Think we'll see. Do you think this will be a Raw feud or a SmackDown feud? I think they'll be in Raw this week because Orton's grandpa's from Kansas City. Like,
Yeah.
Kansas City matters to Randy Orton. Like, it's-
Oh yeah. They better be at Raw this week.
yeah. We'd already talked a little bit about the Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria immediately losing the belts and turning. I think it could be interesting. And then Rusev returned and he got Death Rebelled, dude.
Oh, that's
His theme
terrible.
song is so bad.
That's terrible.
He beats down the Alpha Academy. No real mission statement or any kind of anything. After winning the title, Jey Uso immediately drops everything that made him interesting the last 2 weeks and just goes back to being the Yeet Man. And
Oh, he started doing it again.
he's just back to being annoying. All the character development of the last 2 weeks is gone. Celebrated. He celebrates with Jimmy and Sammy. Nothing happens. Something I did like though. Gunther attacked Michael Cole and Pat McAfee because they do the Yeets every week, and they're like obviously favoring Jey Uso.
Yeah.
He attacked them. He chokes out Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee doesn't call the rest of the night. Joe Tessitore replaces him. Listen, I wouldn't like this for WrestleMania or SummerSlam, but for a Backlash match, Gunther versus Pat McAfee is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because remember,
Oh,
Pat
man.
did interesting stuff with Adam Cole back in NXT. He can be an interesting wrestling personality. He's just an annoying commentator. I would be interested in Gunther wrestling McAfee at Backlash.
I'd like to see that.
You know, I also like the former wrestler commentator standing up for the non-wrestler commentator.
Yeah.
We saw that in AEW last week with Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness. Saw it in WWE this week with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. I just think that's a fun as a storyline anytime you can do that. Anytime Jerry Lawler would stand up for Jim Ross, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Braun Breaker joins Seth Rollins and Heyman. What do you think of that addition?
Great move.
Who would you guys like to see?
Wait, what? Braun Breaker joined Heyman?
He joined Heyman and Rollins, yeah.
Man.
He speared the hell out of Roman Reigns out of no. Roman was setting up to spear Seth, and he just intercepts him and spears the shit out of Roman Reigns.
Well, he just catapulted to the main event. I see why he
Yeah.
lost the Intercontinental title.
Yep. Who are some people we would like to see join that stable? I would like to see Omos and Karrion Kross and Obafemi. I just want big dudes with Rollins, protecting Rollins. I think
I like the idea of Fraxium joining.
Fraxium would be cool. What if the New Day joined?
Holy sad to see
Don't like
that
it?
now.
Don't like it? Just an idea. Just throw spitballing. I've seen people say Andrade should join. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I really like the idea of just putting a bunch of big dudes around Rollins, though.
Right.
And just them standing around him, protecting him, and him being like a slimy, shitty heel, I think would be interesting.
I don't know. Whoever it is, got to be a good tag team partner for Braun Breaker because there's only going to be
Braun
one
Breaker
world
and
champion.
Omos would be a crazy tag
That would
team.
be a crazy tag team.
That would be insane. All right. Tape up the light tubes. Take the door off its hinges. It's time for Shane's GCW corner.
Oh God, this was the collective week. Obviously, Mania week. There's so much to talk about. Not even just UCW, of course. There was some other stuff as well. But we'll start with, I guess, the collective. A big time week for UCW. A lot of events. Of course, the first event was changed from Dragon USA to being the WID tournament showcase thing.
I didn't watch anything from this.
I watched one match of it.
Which match?
Come on, guess.
Kylie Ray and...
No, I watched the Atticus Cogar
Oh, you
match.
watched the Atticus Cogar, yeah.
It was a pretty good match for what it's worth. Atticus kind of proving himself as an actual wrestler, not a deathmatch guy. The Fuego del Sol interferes with the match, costs Atticus the opportunity to go on. Ice Williams picks up the win, so
Nice.
King Cold Brew.
Cold Brew, let's go.
Other than that show, didn't watch any of the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the Kylie Ray match is pretty good. I didn't watch it. The next show was Dragon Gate USA.
I did watch this one.
That was a good show.
It was a fun show, for sure.
My highlights are, I think, the last trios match with Stu Skywalker and his team.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
Dude, that one weird motherfucker on Shoot Skywalker. Wait, was he on Shoot?
No, it was
against Shoot,
It
He was on Dragon
it was
Kids.
also a match. Oh no, yeah.
The-
You mean the fat dude?
the fat dude that looked like one of those weird neon freaks from
He was
Batman
the
Forever.
he was also Dragon match. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Ultimate
That
Dragon match.
L something.
Yeah.
He's a guy who works in, like San Jose. He is mostly torso.
He's a fat dude.
He's a fat dude and was a fat torso.
Mm-hmm.
He was a moving though.
Yeah. And he had like this like black suit with this weird like neon like demon looking thing. I can't even really properly describe it. It was just a weird freak and I loved him.
And there was the fight. There was Progress. The fight was pretty
Mm-hmm.
good. Progress I didn't get to watch.
Oh, I watched both of those. I like both of them quite a bit.
Then Bloodsport.
Oh, the Progress Paul Walter Hauser.
Oh,
your
yeah,
new
that's
Progress
right,
Proteus
that's right.
champion. That was
The
really
actor
fun.
in the New Naked Gun movie
Mhm.
who's replacing the commissioner.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
the champion of Progress right now.
Well, not the champion of Progress.
Yes, the champion.
I thought Luke Jacobs he's the Progress World
Oh,
champion.
okay.
Proteus is the mid card belt.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
He's the mid card champion of Progress now. Luke Jacobs or wait, did Michael Oku beat him? I don't remember.
No, I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. I watched a lot.
Anyways,
for it.
Bloodsport was pretty good.
Bloodsport was awesome.
I
I have some gripes.
some gripes. I figured you would.
I don't like the WWE-ification of my sweet, beautiful Bloodsport.
Yes, I agree.
Natalia comes in, fucking enters to Rage Against the Machine. Sort of cool. All right. Drops her whole gimmick, which is like
Fucking beats Miyu Yamashita.
for the first time ever, she's not just doing the gimmick of being a nepo baby, which has been her entire career. But what I don't like the way some of the holds she was doing, very WWE style holds. And then she tried throwing her into the post. Fucking WWE shit right there. And then afterwards, brawls a bunch of people. She did a post-match angle at fucking Bloodsport. That's not what we do around here, all right?
She built her NWA appearance
Yeah.
up at Bloodsport.
Yeah, it's just this is supposed to be more real. This is not supposed to be sports entertainment. This is supposed to be closer to MMA than anything.
I mean, MMA,
We're doing
MMA
fucking
also
NWA.
has post-match brawls sometimes.
But we're doing fucking WWE NWA ass fucking builds. I just didn't like it. I hated it so much.
The highlights, I think, were Charlie Dempsey against Shinya Aoki.
That one, that match
Shocker that an MMA guy does well in Bloodsport. You would never have thought.
against William Regal's son.
Yeah.
Of course, that's going to be a great match.
T-Bone Heights, his match was okay,
Pretty good.
but I gotta tell him what he did some good moves.
Yeah.
And finally, ZSJ Gresham.
ZSJ Gresham was beautiful. Goes to overtime, and Gresham gets knocked out, dude.
With the PK.
Oh, awesome. In Bloodsport, there's the main event gets 20 minutes plus a 5-minute overtime if needed, and the rest of the matches get 15 minutes plus a 5-minute overtime if needed. So they wrestled the full 15 minutes, little break, and then they started overtime, and then Jonathan Gresham gets knocked out, which was awesome. I liked the Barnett Gabe Kidd match quite a bit too.
Yeah, it was
and I
good.
liked Barnett's comments afterwards, just saying like this Gabe Kidd is like the future of wrestling. Like I kind of like that too. As much as I hate Gabe Kidd's character, when he gets in that ring, I'm fucking enthralled. Like he just grabs me, dude. I don't know what it is.
Let me get Heels Have Eyes for the
I didn't
culture.
watch this.
I was on like 2:30. For the culture used to be celebrating black wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy G was on the show. Enzo Moore's on the show. Does this sound like for the culture, or does it sound like West Side Gun's Wild Ride?
Hey, I don't know. Let West Side Gun do what he wants.
I mean, that's fair. This show was, I'll be real, kind of mid at best.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't watch anything from it.
The surprise tag team match
Mhm.
was the Hardys against Devon's Sons.
Oh, that's cool. Who won the flyweight title?
Yo, my name is Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide flyweight champion, brother.
And you can't teach that.
I hate that guy so much.
He beat
Loved him as a
Top
kid.
Dollar,
I could still do the whole thing.
AJ Gray. AJ Gray? Wait, what? Hold on. That's okay. Come on. That's
Different
crazy. AJ Gray used to be GCW.
Oh, okay.
Allegations came out. He got caught texting a 17-year-old, but he stopped texting her when she said her age.
Oh, okay.
This is his first GCW appearance in like 3 years, so that's pretty cool. TJPW had a show that's pretty good. The combined show was also pretty good. Let's get the Big Gay Brunch here.
Big A Brunch was pretty good.
It was pretty good. The best match by far was another ZSJ match.
Mm-hmm.
Who again isn't gay but is vegan, so he's
So I
welcome
think
on.
that counts.
It's like Nick Gage is bi-curious, you know.
Yeah.
It was good. The title match meant a lot. The people obviously.
Yeah, Dark Sheik. And it was a good match, too. I really enjoyed it.
Of course, the post-match comments.
I do
when-
like that, like, 4 people walked out to Chapel Roan songs.
Yeah, very Chapel Roni.
2 different people entered the Hot to Go.
The first appearance of your favorite wrestler, Becca.
Oh, I hate Becca, dude. I cannot stand her.
I'm Becca. You're not.
Yeah, I hate her song. Is so she can't sing. She wasn't even trying to sing.
I think it's the bit. It is the bit. I'm pretty sure it's the bit.
I don't like her.
Her eggs are fertile, fresh, and femme, though.
She did say that multiple times.
I also do kind of like that she emoted it for Brooke Havoc.
She did.
She
She
screams.
emo it a little bit for Brooke Havoc. Brooke Havoc, one of my
And
favorites.
fuck, let's just get to the best show of the weekend to me. Joey Janela's Spring Break 9.
Yeah,
My word.
I think start to finish, this was probably the best show of the weekend.
Starting with, let's start with let's go through this whole show then.
Okay.
The G7 tag title match, Alec Price and the mystery partner versus Violence Forever. The mystery partner is Jordan Oliver.
Jordan Oliver.
Dude,
I know we'll get to the
what a
clusterfuck.
stud.
I know we'll get to the clusterfuck. Did you see just how smooth Alec Price slid into
Oh,
frame
oh,
when he did his
dude.
entrance?
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Alec Price is so nice, dude.
Dude. But yeah, new tag champs, awesome, good for them.
Great
love
move.
both those
I
guys.
love this. The East Coast Beasts.
Mm-hmm.
The Wagner family, which is Dr. Wagner Jr. and El Hijo Dr. Wagner and Leo Del Mal. who's still
Dr.
in
Ryder
the-
Jr., handsome man.
Oh,
he took
dude.
his mask
Can you
off.
believe that he had wrestled under a mask for like 30 odd years? He's that
Yeah.
sexy.
All these luchadors are handsome dudes when they get those masks off every single time.
I think Dave Prazak or it would be Scott referred to him as the Silver Fox of Lucha Libre.
Yeah. The Silver Fox.
He's
that's
like-
a
he's
good
like George
nickname.
Clooney
That's a
over
good
there.
nickname, the Silver Fox of Lucha Libre.
He defeated Arez, Gringo Loco, and Lynette Cockrell, a podcast favorite.
Oh, yep.
The first really good match of the night, Megan Bain, Bozilla.
That was pretty cool.
I should have wrote down more of these because my roommate Fable does not watch wrestling all the time. Grew up in wrestling, has the best comments I've ever of anybody watched wrestling. The comment during this match was, "I wish I was in the middle of that." Megan Bain beat Bozilla. Two huge women.
I do I liked the visual of seeing Megan Bain actually against someone taller than her. That
Taller
was
and
crazy.
bigger than her, too.
Yeah. That was crazy.
ZSJ and Uncle Manders.
Tore it down.
Yes.
Those dudes rule.
It's rated the worst out of all those ZSJ matches,
Dude, I loved it.
but a bad ZSJ match is a good everybody
Also,
else
those
match.
are two of my boys because one Cole
Yeah.
Manders is a local guy. ZSJ is one of my favorites in the industry. Yeah.
Legitimately one of the best matches I've seen in GCW ever. Atticus Kogar, Fego del Sol.
Dude.
They tore it the
storytelling.
fuck down.
Sam Stackhouse getting involved, doing that big boy moonsault, dude.
Poor Otis Kogar
Yeah.
had to take that shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
These guys killed it. They both really wrestling like their career was on the line. Like there was no tomorrow. And
And I mean, it was.
Fuego losing.
Fego
and-
loses the mask and immediately retires.
I mean, the most emotional moment, definitely of the collective, maybe of the weekend, was Fuego taking the boots off.
I spent the entire match cheering for Atticus, booing Fuego, and as soon as Fuego started crying and taking the boots off, like, oh no, Fuego, no.
So Fuego, after 11 years in wrestling, leaves his boots in the middle of
Oh.
the ring.
If you want to include like the champion wrestling guys' real start, they don't real moves that on them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 15, 20.
Yeah.
It's a long time in wrestling for him.
So, yeah, shout out to Fuego.
Also, local guy from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma guy? Oh, that's cool.
Matt Tremont, Monroe
Makes
Suzuki.
sense that he would have come up in wrestling around Sammy Guevara then, because isn't Sammy a Texas guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Tremont, Minoru Suzuki goes to the no contest. The second one of the night, because I totally forgot to talk about Butterbean versus Minoru Suzuki. Oh, we'll get that later. We'll get that later. Like, I'll talk about
Butterbean
it.
Minoru
I
Suzuki.
gotta talk about it.
I didn't watch the full match, but the highlights, it's a beautiful disaster.
It's
it's
terrible.
just
It's horrible.
in the
it's
best way possible.
Terrible. 5 stars.
Yeah. He's garbage. Break this guy.
Did Butterbean win?
No, it was a double
It's a
count out.
tie.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Dan Severn counted them both out.
Yeah, Dan Severn, a referee with a backbone.
This match also goes to a no contest. They just beat each other up to the back. Matt Tremont has a gross forehead, first of all,
Yep.
but he bleeds that forehead like nothing.
Oh, dude. I didn't mention, wasn't it Fuego that had blood dripping out of him at one point?
No, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 matches now.
Oh, okay.
Masha against Suzuki. This match was pretty good. I think it was the best match of the night by far, but it was okay.
Yeah, I love seeing Masha.
And then Gabe Kidd, Vance Warner.
This is the one.
This
where
is
there
the
was
one, yeah, where I don't know what they did. It was screwdriver to the head. Mance is down. He gets up, and blood is just squirting from his head.
He's kind of taking his head down. and
nasty.
flying. Oh, it was so
It's nasty. Fable,
Awesome match.
Fable, they tell him to stop the match. It was gross. Mance keeps going. He loses in a beautiful headbutt. What a match.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Senior Scramble. Damian 666, George South, Mike Jackson, Ricky Morton, and Robert Gibson come out. And Ricky Morton's little piece of shit kid who he should discipline more often, Kerry Morton, comes out, interrupts the match, gets beat up by all the seniors, which, I'll be real, Kerry Morton does a great job getting beat up by everybody he gets involved with. It's awesome. He's beautiful. It's beautiful. It did his job. It's not good because it's a bunch of old farts wrestling each other, but, you know, what do you want? And then the legitimate, beautiful disaster that was the no-rope barbed wire match between Joey Janela and 60-year-old Sabu. This match had the most gnarly bump I've ever seen. Sabu was Irish whipped into a barbed wire board, and because there's no ropes, went through the barbed wire rope and out to the floor, where there was no padding, right on the concrete. I will show you the bump when we're done talking.
That sounds terrible.
And then he went through the ropes into like a barbed wire basket.
He did a flying Sabu, missed, face first in the barbed wire.
Yep.
Did he on drugs too?
Oh,
He
yeah.
was very visibly high.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's Sabu, but you know, but like,
There's no way he could do a match sober.
fair.
All that
Fair.
pain that he's already in just before the bell rings. Like, that guy's body it's like a sack of marbles.
And then Fonzie, Bill Alfonso,
Bill Alfonso
took a bump.
Like an annoying ass whistle and all. Yeah, dude, Bill Alfonso took a crazy door bump. That was insane.
Dude took it for the team. And then when Sabu is like almost bleeding out on the floor from that bump, the fucking Sandman comes out.
Lights go out. Inner Sandman starts
And
playing.
he spends like 5 minutes getting down to the ring
Yeah,
because
just
they're in a
partying with the crowd.
they're in a theater in Vegas. He's gonna spend he's got like non-alcoholic beer. It's great, dude. He's in terrible shape, but he's in the most interesting shape I've ever seen a wrestler be in.
God.
But it was so good. I gave this 5 stars.
It was crazy to watch. I liked it. It was fun.
That's spring break. We'll get to the next big event, the clusterfuck. The scramble cage match, the Doug Genshin Memorial 9-way scramble cage match, which had
Too many guys. to be in
way
this
too
cage.
many guys in there.
9-way cage match?
Yes,
Like
with
9 guys in the
shenanigans.
cage.
Regular cage?
Yeah,
Yeah,
regular.
regular cage
Oh, that's a lot of people.
with platforms on the top of the cage so you can jump off of it, and a barbed wire platform on outside for later.
What's go ahead and read all the entrants who were in this.
We got Gringo Loco, Ciclope, Facade, the different boy Jimmy Lloyd, Man Like the Reese, Marcus Mathers, Mike DeVecchio, who I would like to clarify is wrestling in Japan right now in a tournament, leading his block.
Yeah.
Ninja Back and Sidney Akeem.
Yep.
There
is a spot where from the top of the cage, Gringo Loco power bombs Mike DeVecchio through 2 tables. Well, not 2 tables. It was like a chairs with a door set up on them, and then 2 more chairs with another door set up on them, and fucking Batista bombs him through those
From the top of
from
the
the
cage.
top of the cage.
But
It
the
was
big thing here,
insane.
the big thing in this match,
That was the finish.
that was the finish.
Gringo won.
But the big thing here is that Ciclope is taken out by a mystery guy. He's a crazy bump. Top of the cage, through the barbed wire platform. Through.
Yeah.
On the outside of the cage?
Yes. And it's revealed to be that no good piece of shit Miedo Extremo.
Yep.
Former tag team partner of Ciclope. That piece of turd.
Yep.
And then the best match of the year for me by far, every year. The Clusterfuck Battle Royal. You don't know who's going to be in it. You don't know how many people are going to be in
You
it.
don't know when they're going to enter. There's no real interval time. It's not like every 90 seconds.
It's
every
it's
2
just
minutes.
whatever
It's
the
just
fuck they feel like it.
whenever.
The only way you can lose, is pinfall, submission, over the top rope, or leaving the building, or death.
Huh.
I feel like everybody and their mother was in this.
Dude, it was insane.
But some highlights: CPA, who had at least 4 dress shirts on.
Yes, he kept doing a bit where he goes to rip his shirt off, and then there's just another shirt under there.
That's his spot. It's to his spots.
spot.
His spots is this one.
He has
But
a
he
tax gimmick.
Yes, he runs like this. That's
Yeah.
his, that's and this one I is called a 1099 because of the tax form.
Oh man.
And there's like a whole ass faction warfare in this match. The Juggalos of JCW, which is like Mickey Knuckles, Too Tough Tony, the Backseat Boys, and the Brothers of Funstruction, who we love now. Ruffo the Clown.
One of these clowns was selling really well, bumping and selling all over the
I'm
place.
pretty sure it was Ruffo the Clown.
He just looked like a dirty old clown. And instead of feeling like a wrestler doing a clown gimmick, he felt like a clown that got thrown into wrestling. Like it really felt
Like
like
they
a
were
real
doing like
clown.
clown shit in the ring too.
I
It was
liked
great.
I liked him. The rest of the Juggalos I can leave, but I liked him.
Mickey Knuckles, somebody threw a dildo in the ring,
That did happen at some point.
and Mickey Knuckles grabs it and just puts it in her mouth.
Really funny. It's a really funny juxtaposition with who the winner is.
Yes, yeah, really, extremely yes.
Which we'll get to.
Micro Man joins the Mexicals.
Yeah, it was,
He brought
who we get? We got
Hoovy and Super
Super
Crazy.
Crazy, and then Micro Man.
And Micro Man, who comes out of a goddamn bubble mower.
Yeah. You know the Mexicals will always ride those lawnmowers in the ring? He comes out pushing one of those kid ones that blows bubbles.
Because Micro Man is like 3'7" or something
Yeah.
like that. He's short as hell.
Sleepy Ed.
Sleepy Ed, who comes out and
He
takes
drags a bed
he
out onto the
takes,
stage.
He's a goddamn nap on the top of the stage.
Santana Jackson, who doesn't
Santana
Michael Jackson,
Jackson
with
brings
a
out
baby.
Blanket.
Blanket. With like Blanket, Michael Jackson.
and you'll
But it's a baby doll.
And the American wrestlers in the ring. You know who comes out next? Gene fucking Snitsky. And you better believe he punts that goddamn baby.
Oh my God! Again, that's not
yeah.
the first baby he's punted.
No,
It's like
not.
the third
and
at
it
the
won't be the
minimum.
last.
I know.
There is a 7-day free trial of Chiller. If you have 3.5 hours free any day, just watch this show.
I'm pretty sure you have my Triller lock-in.
Yeah,
I do.
watch
Yeah.
the show, please. Anyways,
And then, Zeta Steel got a
Zeta
good
still
run.
got a good run, but she was with.
I do gotta say, if I wasn't expecting it, and another wrestler shoved a dildo in my mouth.
No.
No.
She did her.
She
She did
did it
herself.
Oh,
She did
okay.
herself.
A fan threw the dildo into the ring. Or maybe a juggalo.
I don't know,
I couldn't tell who threw it. Potentially a fan.
but
And she
the
just-
Juggalos kind of wrecked how they had everybody minus Micro Man,
Mm-hmm.
who they gently let out of the ring. Kid Man took a really big bump from them though. I was kind of surprised. And
And
then
then Team ACW. Or not,
Team
Team CCW.
Team ACW. Damn, you stop booking here.
Yeah.
Team CCW comes out. They fight. They ball over the ring. They're building towards that. They're gonna. If you go to the
War games,
gathering,
basically.
if you go to the gathering this year, GCW will be there. They're doing.
Gathering of the Juggalos.
There's-
I don't go to the gathering.
You shouldn't this year. They never had a big fun wrestling show there.
I don't think you understand what the gathering is.
I don't want to understand what the gathering is. Okay.
If you go to watch a wrestling show, take notes.
I'm not
Don't pick
going.
up $1 if you see it on the ground.
I-
Definitely don't pick up $1 if you see it on the ground. There's 100% covered in human crap on the other side. There's people
So
waiting.
it's just $1.99 for Juggalos. Is what I got here.
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of drugs.
Great.
That's why I don't go to the gathering.
Anyways, the winner of the clusterfuck battle royale at like 3:30 in the no.
Well, you skipped the best part.
Oh, I did. Yes, right.
The Invisible Man.
Yeah, I
Wreckage
forgot.
Shop.
The Invisible Man went on a run.
He took out Sleepy Ed.
Sleepy Ed. He took out Lee
Jack
Nixon,
Cartwheel.
Jack Cartwheel.
Dan the Dad.
Dan the Dad was out there. He was giving him the business too.
He was giving him the business. He was.
He was giving him some discipline.
Uh-huh.
This is the greatest thing I've ever.
The Invisible
I
Man
love
was
the Invisible
incredible.
Man.
Dude, it was so fun.
And the winner, it was the last three was Joey Janela, Megan Bain, and goddamn Brody Lee
Well,
Jr.
And the fourth was Man Like DeReese.
Yes, Man Like
who
DeReese, yeah.
Has been training with Brody Lee Jr. Yeah.
A 13-year-old won the clusterfuck.
Yeah. 13-year-old.
Whose dad was a phenomenal wrestler? Yeah.
Yeah, his dad, a legend. We love.
This is
Brody
his
Lee
debut
Harper. This
in
is his
wrestling.
wrestling debut. He's undefeated.
Undefeated.
So is Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Hey, but it's better than Michael Cole beat Becca, Bodie Young Prodigy, Brad Baylor, the homophobe, Jackson Drake.
Oh, speaking of homophobes, the Evolve guys were in there. Swipe right.
Yeah.
They
So
were in there.
Brad Baylor, yeah.
Yeah, they eliminated a gay guy, and I was like, this feels homophobic because they're like frat guys.
And the next day, the next day, some TikTok is discovered of Brad Baylor of Swipe Right and fucking It's a Gal. They're asked, what do you think about the queer community? And they laugh and walk away. At least AJ gave us a funny
kind of
soundbite.
reminded me of AJ Styles being like, the gay community.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're wrestling in trunks, you're at least at 2% gay.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Shane.
You wrestle in trunks? Is that what's going on?
I've had before.
So you're not 100% straight if you wrestle in general, you know. Eric Stevens, a referee our guy, said that, and he's got a point.
You got to do it at least once.
Yeah, that was the clusterfuck.
That's the clusterfuck for you.
Congrats to Brody Lee Jr., winner of the clusterfuck. I think I'd picked Brooke Havoc to win. I don't remember.
Sensible choice, you know, but we didn't.
I think you might have picked the Invisible Man.
I did pick the Invisible Man.
Great pick,
He
though.
went on a good run.
Great, he almost won.
He probably got like 10 eliminations.
I forgot who I picked, so
I don't remember.
probably somebody crazy.
Some hardcore guy, yeah, probably.
I've literally been obsessed with thinking, like, how would I work a match with just myself? And I was like, this would be so great.
No, you know what? On YouTube for free, watch the Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan.
Yeah, his best match is when it's just referee Bryce Remsburg. it's Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan, his rival and probably like former tag team partner.
Arch nemesis,
Arch
you know?
nemesis, yeah. Did you want to do the categories for collective?
Yeah, let's do that. So I guess this will be new, but who the MVP is?
Well, best moment.
Best moment.
The best spot goes to the cage powerbomb. Best moment's Brody Lee Jr. winning.
Yeah,
the
so
clusterfuck.
clusterfuck sweep there.
Yeah.
MVP.
I gotta go Michael Oku. He wrestled like 6 matches. I watched half of them. They were really good. Like, Michael Oku was awesome.
I'm gonna go ZSJ because all the matches were elite.
ZSJ also had a lot of awesome matches. But I'm gonna go with Oku. He definitely gets the Speedball trophy.
Yes.
Michael Oku. Speedball 2 years ago set a record by wrestling 13 matches during WrestleMania week. And Michael Oku, I think, had the most with 6 this year. So,
Ooh, that's a lot of matches in 1 week.
13 in 4 days.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of in-ring time. Ooh,
Yeah.
A lot of bumps.
Heat
that's
check.
a lot of bumps.
Best performance in a short amount of time for the collective.
Let me check something really fast, but
The first that comes to mind is Gene Snitsky.
yes, yeah. Gene Siski for sure, because he destroyed. He takes the mannequin wrestler and just swings it over his head like
Yoshiko
5 times,
Yeah.
and throws him into the crowd. He goes over the crowd on the floor. It hits like the seated crowd.
Also, he punts the baby and then he just leaves. Just eliminates himself.
He did his job.
Yeah. I guess we could skip Apex Mountain. That's not. I guess technically it's Brody Lee Jr.'s Apex so far.
I'm gonna give heat check to Sinka Akatsuki.
To who?
Sinka Akatsuki.
Yep,
for
I know
a
who that is.
5-minute. She's been wrestling for 6 months.
Okay.
She had a match against Audra Khan in 5 minutes that is regarded as one of the best, and had the biggest pop of the weekend.
Okay. That's cool. Surprise of the collective. I mean, it's Brody
Lee Jr., yeah.
It's Brody Lee Jr. for
The
sure.
13-year-old winning.
I don't know if there's anything we could really recast.
Let's recast the clusterfuck.
No, we don't have time.
Let's do Master vs. Career.
Fuego and
Fuego and Atticus.
recasting doesn't really apply because there hasn't been any time since it happened.
Yeah,
You know what
fair,
I mean? That's
fair.
kind of the whole
Yeah,
point.
that's a good point.
Best double feature, a match from the collective that you would double feature with another match. I mean, Sabu, Born to be Wired,
Yeah.
in his retirement match. That's Sabu versus Terry Funk is what I was referencing there.
Literally any other clusterfuck.
The end of the clusterfuck with Brody Lee versus Cody Rhodes, the dog collar match.
Yeah.
I
Invisible
think
Man,
it'd be
Invisible
good.
Stan.
Invisible Man, Invisible Stan. Yeah, I think that's it. What would be your? I guess it kind of steps on favorite things of the week, but What's the best thing that happened at the collective that's not going to make your favorite things of the week or honorable mentions? Like just the best thing that we won't bring up in the next segment.
I'm gonna go with. What's good? What's a good one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be the Miyu Watanabe versus Master Savage match.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like that, but it's not my honorable mentions.
I'm going to go. This is a tough one. I set this up and I don't even have a really good answer. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
I really like ZSJ Kid Bandit. I thought that was a really fun match. I'm gonna go Effie and Dark Sheik the moment they had after the match, the kind of promo at the end, and how special that was for both of them. I think I'm gonna go with that. But with that being said, we can get into our favorite things of the week. This, of course, is where I hand out the gold, silver, and bronze hot dog. Shane gives out the gold, silver, and bronze handshake. Jolka will give us his top three. Starting with Shane, Shane, give me your honorable mentions and your bronze handshake. Too.
All right, so my honorable mentions, we have every ZSJ match,
Mm-hmm.
literally all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The special thanks to the Kid Bandit match. That was the first match I've seen of ZSJ this weekend that made him be on the defensive.
Mm-hmm.
He used a rope break in that match,
Yeah.
which is rare.
Rare for Zach. Yep.
The women's duo at WrestleMania, Kerry King at WrestleMania, because that fucking ruled, and Mance versus Cape Kid.
Mm-hmm.
So my bronze is Atticus versus Fuego.
Okay. What was it? It was career versus mask. Yeah. All right. What was your third this week?
It was a move where Braun Breaker just jumped out of the atmosphere for a shoulder tackle on the outside of the ring.
We also forgot to talk about he jumped announce table to
Yeah,
spear
the
Carlito.
He is the greatest to ever do it. I swear to God.
Yeah, Braun Breaker might be the GOAT. He
Yeah.
might be the best ever. I can't.
He is the personification of all the best parts of both Steiners.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of Breaker, one of my honorable mentions, the Breaker math promo
Oh, yeah.
at the WrestleMania kickoff show.
Yeah.
He did the
He
Steiner
used the
math.
Steiner
and I did Breaker math. Punk Roman Seth gets an honorable mention for me. The Gringo Loco and Mike DeVecchio powerbomb off the cage, honorable mention. And then Brody Lee Jr., I really wanted to put him on in my third spot. I just couldn't. Too much stuff happened this week. I couldn't fit it. So he gets an honorable mention. My bronze is going to be Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley from Night 2 of Mania. Like I said, that was my match of Mania. It's going to be my bronze. So what's your silver, Shane?
It is going to be that Sinka Akatsuki match versus Aja Kong. Literally, let me explain the spot that got the big roar. Sinka's small. She's 5'1" something.
Jeez.
Aja Kong,
Huge.
big. In more ways than one, obviously. She gets bullied. She gets knocked down. She does Aja Kong. Aja Kong immediately goes to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Not letting her pin her. Aja knocks Sinka down. She goes for the pin. Sinka just braces, is not letting her hit the shoulders down, and the crowd just loses their mind. It's beautiful. It's the basics.
Mm-hmm.
It's the small things like that.
What's number 2 for you?
Crap! I just had it in my head and it was gone. As I was trying to go along with what Shane was talking with. I'm like,
I'll show you it too. I'll show both of you.
my number 2 would have to be. Oh, there we go. Ball bashing Paul Heyman. Just 1, 2.
Because he had fun with it, you know.
Yeah, he put some oomph on it. My number 2 is going to be Jonathan Gresham versus Zack Sabre Jr. from Bloodsport. I'm a guy that watched the entire Ring of Honor Pure title tournament during COVID. So, I love me some Jonathan Gresham. I've talked a lot about my love for Zack Sabre Jr., and this match was just awesome. So that's my silver. What's the gold, Shane? Number 1 thing from WrestleMania week.
Sabu Janela.
Sabu versus Janela.
It was the last dying breath of ECW nostalgia finally being let out, and they brought everything they could. They brought Sabu, they brought Fonzie, his stupid whistle,
Sandman.
and Sandman who took forever to get down to the ring.
Wish they could have got Rob.
Rob would have made it even better. But I'll see what I can get.
Yep. What's your number 1?
That goes to Dominic Mysterio for winning the Intercontinental Championship and having probably the biggest pop of WrestleMania.
Yeah, him, that 1, 2, 3 Dominic wins was the biggest pop of Mania
Which is
for sure.
absolutely.
kind of sad, seeing as it was the mid card.
Yeah, but people love him. My goal is going to be Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Ospreay from Dynamite. I talked about earlier. I just loved this match. One of the best TV matches I've ever seen, and just a great match. So that's my goal. On to the lightning round. Upcoming matches this week. From AEW Dynamite, we're going to get Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander. Owen Hart semifinals. Winner faces Mercedes at Double or Nothing.
Give it a
Out of
7.
10. Give it a 7. All right. Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey versus the Young Bucks.
Like a 5.
I'll give it like a.
It'd be,
like a
it'd
7.
be a good match, yeah. But
I like the Kevin. I like Jet Ball. I like this
Yeah,
tag team.
Jet Ball's a good name, too. Speed Jet, though?
Speed Jet would be good too. SmackDown, we have Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY TLC for the tag titles. That's a 10.
There should have been Mania, but it's a 10.
Yeah, this should go like 45 minutes. It should
Yes,
be like
yeah.
a 30
It should be the whole show.
And then on Collision, we have Top Flight versus the Crew Tornado Tag.
I like Tornado Tag, so I'll give it a 6.
I'm thinking like a 4. I'm not interested in this. Nothing from Raw announced. Over in New Japan Red Zone, Bishamon versus Great O'Khan and Callum Newman for the World Tag
Just because
titles.
of the show, it's on a 4.
Okay. I'm interested in it. I'm ready to see who our new tag champions are. Match recommendation of the week. We saw Cena win 17. I'm going to throw you back to when he won 16. I'm going to say John Cena versus AJ Styles, Royal Rumble 2017. Match we reviewed on the old version of this podcast. Just a great match. They don't leave the ring. The most they leave the ring is like the apron. Like they don't actually go down to the floor at any point in the match, which is really cool. Obviously, they go to the apron because AJ's got to hit that phenomenal forearm.
Right.
But, yeah, if you want to listen to more of us, we just put out our WrestleMania 21 review. We'll have Heatwave 98 celebrating Sabu coming out later this week. We have tons of other classic reviews, WCW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Noah. We did all over the place. So check out those. And even after the huge week we just had, don't forget to enjoy wrestling.
All right, Jolka, let me show you this. Let me show you this spot.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
Oh, we went almost 2 hours.
Oh,
Hey, Chad, we finished up.
that's fucked.
Yeah, man, so who's the goat?
He's so old.